Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Stories Told and to Good Society. We're so happy to have you here. Apologies for being late. Every technical issue that could have gone wrong.
I was hoping you were going to be like, every technical issue was Harley's fault.
No, I wasn't going to tell them.
No, you should lay it at my door. Because we have a new thing that Hannah's going to explain very lovingly, and my dumbass did it wrong. And then she was like, hey, Harley, could you fix it? And I was like,
no.
No. I was getting ready. And she was like, yeah, cool. I do need that thing, though. And I was like, what is she talking about? I gave it to her. What's she talking about? That's crazy. What did she ask you? I gave it to her. What did she ask for? Anyway, so it's my fault. Hannah's lovely. Be nice to Hannah today. Hannah, continue.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. I'm not stressed. It's all good. Hello. We should introduce ourselves. I'm Hannah. I had to think about that for slightly too long.
It's gonna be a good
one today.
No, wait, Hannah. Can we do a thing where we introduce another person? Can we do that?
Absolutely. Of course.
Okay, good.
Okay.
You go first, just so I'm not.
Wait, do I say it as the person or do I?
It's up to you.
Hi, I'm Harley.
Oh no!
I needed to brush my hair, and the stream is. I can't do this. I feel so bad already.
No, do it. No, it's fine. Do it. It'll make you.
Hi, I'm Harley. I had to brush my hair, and I had to give one code to Hannah so she could log into the Twitch and set literally the entire thing up, but I couldn't because I had to brush my hair. So, I stream a lot of stuff on my stream. And I'm playing.
I don't know.
And I'm playing Theodosia. She a badass. They a badass, to be honest. And chat really loves them, as they should, because Theo's got stuff to do. We'll find out, I guess.
They might not do it. They might have to brush their hair, so it might be like a good half hour before anything gets done.
True.
We don't see them the entire half first. We don't see them because they're brushing their hair.
Yeah, I was like, they're busy. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna go with Hannah. Hi, I'm Hannah. I always have the exact same perfect makeup every day. I don't know how I do it. And I'm currently playing Ace Attorney on my channel. And I'm doing a really good job of voice acting all the voices. I'm Louise Hannah everywhere, Twitter, everything. And if you got something like Hannah in the chat, you'll see my stuff. I'm really into JRPGs, and I really want to play Devil May Cry because Dante, silver hair is the whole thing. And I'm playing Clara Rickmore, who is the center of a lot of dramas. And you'll learn more about her in the recap that Ed's gonna do.
That was so perfect.
That was way nice.
Really good. That was really good.
Yeah, sorry, I got some brown on my
trying to get some breath.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Gee. Oh my god.
Sorry about that. I just gotta. It's okay if you keep messing up if you just make up for it by kissing ass, right? Isn't that the Kardashians do that? And
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That's how the famous people do it.
Yeah.
Well, who would like to go next? I'll let you choose.
I'm Kat.
I'm
an incredible DM, and Ed frankly aspires to be as good as I am. I'm currently playing Resident Evil Village.
Yes, I am.
I'm a game that is too scary for me, but I'm playing it anyway, and I'm planning on playing more. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm Cat Scratch, and I'm playing. Oh my god, where am I?
It's on Zoom. It's on Zoom. It's okay, Ed. Just look at the Zoom.
And I'm playing Vanessa Grimm, who is newcomer to Theodosia, living with Lady Anastasia Bromley. Why I'm here is a mystery that everyone else is trying to
dating.
figure out. That is the current rumor, yes, and there may be some truth to it. But yeah, I'm Kat.
Hey. Well, I can go next. I'm Lori. I play a ton of Genshin Impact, very obsessed with it. I think recently sponsored stream by Genshin. I don't know. I peeked in. I clicked the button. Kat did. super supportive cat. I also just said F you to Amber and got a really nice pull and a beautiful fiery bow lass that I forgot the name of. And you should absolutely go and check me out on everything. I believe I'm Lori on Twitch. Other things are Legend of Lori.
Correct.
Yes. I was like, somehow it's connected. I also play Annette Rivers, who is cousin / best friends with Theo. And my brother has a rumor spreading that he may have killed someone.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
I also am not a fan of all the men in my life. And I believe that's most of it.
That was really good. Yeah,
that was very good.
That was like accurate to a T.
Let's go.
Okay, well, hello everyone. I am Ed, and I am the DM here, and I DM for lots of things. The channel. It's cantrip
breakers.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
So bad. So that was actually really good. But you can catch me over there, and I also DM'd for other things on this channel, and I'm really, really good DM. And I'm about to do a recap for anyone that missed last episode. Yeah.
There are also some rules here that you can summarize if you'd like to take it.
Wow! Ed!
Try one if you want. I can try do the resolve token thing, unless Hannah wants to do it. I don't know if Hannah would prefer, or if I should do it, or
about the rules of this.
Not the rule. Well, I mean, I could try the rules, but I was going to explain the resolve.
Oh, you can do that. Yeah, I thought you meant the rules of this system, and I was like, no, I don't know what's going on.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Right. Thank you so much,
big strong man.
Well, speaking of resolve tokens, that's 10 gifted subs. So
there we are.
No,
so,
wait, yes,
it is. Yeah, I'll do the poll thing. So basically, chat. Here's how we're doing things today and also from now on with the Good Society TRPG. In this game, you don't roll any stat checks or anything like that. If you want to do something, you either do it, but if it's something that will like pretty drastically alter the narrative, e.g. a letter getting intercepted, somebody suddenly arriving somewhere where they like physically couldn't actually manage to be, like that kind of thing, you use a resolve token. And we start every cycle. What's the cycle? Ed will tell us. We start every cycle with 2 resolve tokens for our characters. However, every 10 gifted subs, we will run a poll where you can all decide who gets the next resolve token. So if you get 10 subs, we're going to run a poll in a second who should get the extra resolve token. So for example, last episode, I used my 2 resolve tokens, one to ensure that the letter was intercepted and never got to somebody so that a rumor would be like more egregious. And I forget what I used the other one for. What did I use my other resolve token for? It was also something.
You
for the puppies.
Spontaneous.
I have a dog now.
There we go. Yeah, I cause puppies to spontaneously happen. So those are the kind of things that you can use for resolve tokens. So yeah, thank you so much, Adult Nature, for getting 10 subs. I really appreciate that. I'm going to run the poll in a second, and we can decide who gets the resolve token. I think I have it all of it. I think.
Awesome. Well, I'm not sure if we have anything else to go over. Really, do we?
Don't. We have I'm gonna start producing the next season of the 5th House soon, and if you want to keep up with that, you subscribe to our Patreon at Patreon. And we might have some really cool for October. Who's to say? Who knows? Me and Ed certainly don't know everything about it. That would be weird.
No,
that would be wacky. Ed's our forever GM. You've heard of forever GM friend groups. Now get ready for like channels.
Yeah.
But yeah, he owns everything, Hannah. That's good. Also, if you have to follow our Twitter, Hannah runs the Twitter and does a very good job of it. So please go give us some love on the Twitter.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, Ed, it is now time to hand off over to you.
Yeah.
If you would like to take us away.
Well, if you tuned in last week, you'll have a vague overview of how the system works. But if not, don't worry. I'm going to give a very quick rundown now before we jump back in, because I want to engage in the drama again. So Good Society is broken into a cycle of phases, including novel chapters. And as we discovered with relish last week, rumors and scandal phases and other similar phases as well. And each of these phases basically help the players to advance the narrative, ascertain their own position in society, and to accrue in-game currency, which instead of dice, takes the form of resolve tokens and monologue tokens. Harley has already explained how resolve tokens work far more aptly and much better than I did last week. But monologue tokens, everyone starts with one, and they can be played at any time towards another player character to find out what their innermost thoughts are. And as before, the players will not just be playing their own characters, but they will also be playing the NPCs of the other players as well, players who crop up in their narratives. And much like the characters they're playing, the NPCs also have resolve tokens that they can use as well. That is everything. So sit back, grab a fan, and prepare for scandal as we catch you up on everything that happened in the last chapters of Good Opinions, Once Lost. Visiting the town of Habersham and staying with a family friend, Mr. Jacob Jacobs, the local curate, Clara Rickmore and her father found themselves bound for Pembroke Hall, on the estate of one Lord Frederick Fellows, there to attend a ball in hopes that a potential suitor might be found for her. Arriving, it was not long before the three of them encountered another individual, Lady Annette Rivers, and her irresponsible brother, Lord Fraser. Accompanying one another inside and seeing a mutual acquaintance in the form of Viscountess Theodosia Courtenay, already enjoying the vast array of wines on display, another individual entered the main hall, drawing hushed conversation from all those present. A mysterious newcomer by the name of Miss Vanessa Grimm, staying on the outskirts of town with Lady Anastasia Bromley. Familiarizing themselves with this new arrival, and while Clara contended with the unexpected appearance of her first suitor, Mr. Arthur Matthewson, now married to one Mrs. Caroline Matthewson, the Viscountess was called away to speak with Lord Frederick Fellows. Confiding in them that he knew of their current financial situation, he offered them a deal. He would use his not insubstantial influence to soften their reputation about the county. And in exchange, he wished them to inquire into Lady Annette's brother, and rumors that he had been approached by a steam locomotive company called Avery and Avery. However, they resoundingly refused and left. Now, over the next few days, a few rumors percolated about the town. It was widely believed that Miss Rickmore and Mr. Matthewson were conducting an affair, while gossip abounded that Vanessa's relationship with Lady Anastasia was perhaps more than simple lodgings. But curious to find out more about these rumors and whether there was any truth to them, Annette and Theodosia set about doing what they do best. They invited Clara around for tea, while accepting a similar invitation from Vanessa. And over the course of these meetings, they resolved to assist Clara in the procurement of a partner through one of Theodosia's renowned parties, and strove to learn more of Vanessa's past and how she ended up here in Habershire. And after a brief altercation with Caroline Matthewson, who offered to assist in the matching of a partner, and a surprise visit to Vanessa from Fraser, the four resolved to attend Theodosia's ball. And so, after an unceremonious parting of ways with their father and writing a letter to their friend Anna requesting their advice and assistance, Theodosia started to plan. And so, as we start a new chapter, we must decide on a chapter type: event, visitation, or split. Does anyone have any preferences?
We just did a visitation one, didn't we, last round, where it was
Yeah.
I'd like an event. That's fun. That's spicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that sounds good.
We can skip straight ahead to Theodosia's party in that case, if you so wish.
Ooh,
Yes.
So, in which case, what does everyone want to do in this chapter? Is there anything that anyone is wanting to do? Any conversations anyone is wanting to have? Anyone that any of your characters want to be there?
Can we have a moment to describe our outfits as well when our character first comes in? Could we do that?
Of course.
is there a theme for the party?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, the theme for the party is wait, Theodosia has an actual thing that they would okay. So the theme is like ancient Greek or Roman philosophers, which Theodosia does not expect anybody to actually be able to like correctly do.
Aww.
But that is the theme.
I love that for them.
But yeah, so that's the theme. I don't know about who I would want to be there. Oh, I'd love for my friend to be there, Anna. That's played by Kat. I'd love my friend Anna to be there. But
Okay.
I'll be there.
I'll happily have my. I assume my father or the. What's his name? His name, Jacob Jacobs. I was like,
Jacob Jacobs.
I was like, James. That's not it. What? Something. Oh my god.
Want your father there?
I'll happily have my father there. Yeah, I would have a chaperone, I assume. So,
Yeah.
Either one is good. And yes, my father is played by Laurie.
I'm daddy.
Oh yeah, you are.
Am I hang on a second. Ed, am I stupid? Because wasn't I meant to be playing Fraser? Did we forget to change it at the last second and then you've been playing him? Or did we what did we do?
No,
So
because we
you
got
took on
Marion.
Marion.
I did. Oh yeah, because Marion's there. You're right. Okay, sorry. I was like, wait a second. I thought I was Fraser. Never mind. Okay, yeah, I'm Marion. Wow, Marion. What an interesting character that is.
Hey, I think Marion should come to the party.
Oh, what? That's so crazy. Woo!
So Vanessa is probably, I don't know if I get two. Vanessa probably is going to try to bring Anastasia along, but I'm assuming if it's like a big group event type deal, that Marion would probably be there if that's how the invites went out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Frasier is probably there. Probably.
You're dismayed.
Theodosia would invite them. Theodosia would invite them to.
I was gonna say, since it's Theo's party, like he would absolutely be there.
Yeah. He got invited like before Annette did, and it's like, what? It's like, well, I knew you were coming, obviously. It's like I didn't even like invite you. Like I knew you were just coming.
So basically, I think everyone's there.
Yeah, I was
literally
gonna say,
everyone.
I think we're all going.
My dad's not there, but he's not really around much anymore.
Okay.
Fine, mine's not there either. So
So,
Fine.
in which case, is there anything that anyone's wanting to do during the party? And indeed, Theodosia, are there any preparations that you would wish to make?
Oh my goodness. Yes, of course. First of all, we have to take down all those dreary family portraits that are all over the estate. That's exhausting. So those are just sort of piled up like underneath the stairs, like facing away. So you see the back of the frames. And then they've taken it upon themselves to and they help the servants do it as well. But they've basically decorated the place by just like buying a lot of grapes and ivy and just like throwing it around everywhere. And also they decided that since their father isn't home, their father's not using his bed sheets or anything. So they've just taken like all of his linens and have draped them in various places so that the lounge isn't just like a upholstered lounge. It's like a nice, pretty fabric, paisley, like velvety looking lounge. If you stay in it, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just, who cares, obviously. And that is what they would do to prepare, as well as like getting ready, like getting their hair did and stuff. So.
It has to be said that over the course of your preparations, while most of the decorations themselves are sourced from within the house, in terms of refreshments and food and drink, as the various members of the household staff are setting up for the party, and this is, this isn't an on-the-day job. This is something that happens over the course of the better part of a week. But you are made aware of the fact that the wine cellars are beginning to run a little dry, and the coffers do not run as deep as they used to. You are working on a budget, and you make it stretch. You absolutely make it work, but it is not quite as lavish as perhaps the parties you used to be accustomed to. But nevertheless, you're able to stage everything in a perfect manner. Everything is set out just as you would wish it. I am going to play a resolve token before the party starts.
Why would you do that? Ed. Now, come on now.
And Kat, I would like to introduce a connection that we have not met yet. But is it okay for me to play this resolve token?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as the following day, after you have had your tea with your newly acquainted friends and the drama surrounding Caroline Matthewson and the new dog that you find yourself with, there is a on your door.
I go answer.
Oh no, Cat.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, Cat got a dog as well. That's true. I forgot about this. My bad. I thought you were talking to Cat, and then I was like, "But I got a dog."
Clara's the doorman now. Clara's like, my station has been so reduced that I'll answer the door for my
I've
betters.
actually hired you to help me help Anastasia.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
All right, so I run to the door and grab the dog back and open.
So standing there is an individual who, while we do not know his name yet, his name is Daniel. Now, Kat, what does Daniel look like?
Daniel is a pretty tall individual. He does tower over a few of the men, and he has a dark complexion. His hair is well done. You can tell that he's not from a rich birth, but that he is trying to fit into the higher ups, to the fancier side of life. And he does have a pair of glasses that he sits kind of a little bit too far up his nose, but he does also have a very kind face as well. And I guess attire wise, he's not in like a suit or anything, but it's nice. It's in that middle ground of not poor attire, but trying to spiff up something that maybe not as fancy as everything else that everyone else wears.
So as you open the door and find yourself almost immediately having to crane your neck up, this gentleman just stands at the door and he's holding something in his hand, and it's familiar to you. It is a shawl that belongs to you. And as he stands there, hello, Miss Grimm. Yes?
Hello, hi. It's so nice to meet you or see you.
Hi, sorry, you left your shawl yesterday when you came for the dogs. My lodger said that she couldn't fathom the idea of you spending another day without it. So,
well, thank you so much.
No.
Yeah, also, the dogs are doing great. They're so wonderful. Clara loves hers. I think it might be filling a void in her heart, honestly.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. They are amazing creatures. While I've been in this part of town, and while they've been born, they've been somewhat of a distraction from the work, but not an unpleasant one. It has to be said. A good
distraction, as all puppies are.
I could not agree more. Have you found a name for yours?
You know what? I haven't. Nothing's really popped up for me, but do you probably know the puppies more than I do. What name would you suggest?
I'm rather partial to dogs having more human names, but William or Bill. I
a strong like name.
It's a cliche. I'm a fan of William Shakespeare, so it's
What if we go a little bit in the middle and we'll call him Willie?
Willie sounds perfect.
Fantastic.
So you work for Lady Anastasia? Yeah.
Oh yes. Do you know her well? Do you know her?
Not particularly. Just in passing. So long as I've been in the town, her name does crop up here and there. And she's, been here a very long time, certainly longer than myself. But unlike you are new to town?
Brand new. She welcomed me into her home, and I could help where she needed it. So I tend to the gardens and the horses, of course. She seemed to need an extra hand around, so I decided I have 2 working arms. Why couldn't I help?
I could not agree more. It's the same, very much so, with Mrs. Whitehall. As much as I can help out, I do so, and obviously run shawls between houses as well.
I'm very glad you were able to do that. I would have missed it, and I'm so thankful that you could bring it our way. Would you like to come in for some tea?
I would love to. Trust me, I would love nothing more, but I have a student waiting for me, so German lesson, so I need to make sure that
Yes,
I'm
of course.
prompt. Doesn't do well
Never
for
let a child wait.
Well, quite. But it was lovely to make your acquaintance, and
It was
hopefully...
wonderful to meet you. I hope you have
hopefully
a safe walk back, and hopefully a lesson where they catch up very quickly.
Well, thank you very much. I made the mistake of walking across your neighbour's lawn and got an earful, but I will make my way around that.
Yeah, I would sneak around that a little bit more gently. She has a lot to say.
Yes, no, I got that impression around 5 minutes of it. But anyway, enjoy your day, and good night, Willie. And I will see you about time.
Will I see you later at Theo's party? I believe they're inviting the town. I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem if you showed up.
I mean, I don't really have anything to... This is the fanciest thing I own.
I'll see if Anastasia has anything tucked away in her closets. She had a husband, and I'm sure he has plenty, and I can bring it by beforehand. We'd love to have you. The more, the merrier.
That is very kind. Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Well, I will see you there, and I'll be sure to come by with a few options and see what you enjoy the most.
I look best in black, funereal, usually.
Classy.
Thank you very much. Anyway, I must get going, but
Yes.
I will see you later.
I will see you later. Have a wonderful walk.
Thank you. And with that, he disappears off, skirting round the edges of Marion's house. And you can see through one of the windows just these sour eyes just following his movement around the edges, as eventually he disappears into the horizon. So, is there anything that anyone else is wanting to do before the party?
Make more dick jokes.
I like, yeah.
I don't know where. We were
clearly not
horrible during that scene. We were
Yeah,
terrible.
for the past few
My
minutes,
chat is hit.
chat has just been making Willy jokes the whole time.
I always insist that my little Willie is kissed goodbye.
Anyway, back on Good Society.
That this factors somehow into the rumors and scandal phase. I'm unsure yet, but I think we can manage it. So, yeah, is there anything that anyone else is wanting to do before the party, or indeed upon arrival?
Oh, I don't want to.
No, you go.
Okay, I was just gonna say I would like Annette to arrive early. I just feel like that would probably make sense.
It's like when you're besties with somebody and you always like get there before everyone else is there. And you're like getting ready together. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like her to arrive early. I don't know about Fraser. I don't think that he would be anywhere.
I would actually like to, before we start and before that happens as well, I would like to play a resolve token for whenever Fraser is getting there. So just Ed, just whenever Fraser is heading up to the party, you let me know.
Oh, well.
Now I'm moving my token. Anyway, Laurie, you continue your thing. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's pretty much it. I just,
Okay.
I want her to get there early. I feel like that would make sense. So,
Okay.
So, as you arrive, we will begin chapter 3. which is titled The Groundwork of Disapprobation. So, as everyone begins to arrive, First Lady Annette Rivers, and followed by the rest of you, would everyone like to describe what it is they are wearing? Theodosia, as you are host.
I'll go last.
Oh, you'll go last. Okay. Is it one of those things where being host, you descend down the stairs to welcome everyone?
Well, if you're gonna go and spoil it, then yes, but whatever.
So, Lady Annette, as you are the first to arrive, would you like to describe what it is that you're wearing?
So Annette got the note from Theo of the theme. So trying to please them, she came up with the best looking kind of like Greek, one of those, what are they called? I don't know the word for
toga, like the cloth thing.
Yeah, like one of those.
Kind of a toga party.
It's really hard. Like it's not exactly like a toga because I don't think that she would try that hard, so she made an attempt again. So she's wearing that, and it's white, and it's not super fancy, but it looks nice. And she has her hair the same way that she had it the last time. That's like her signature hairstyle, is like half up and then half down. And yeah, that's pretty much what she's wearing. Pretty basic. That's her.
And Miss Vanessa Grimm, what are you wearing?
So Vanessa comes in and she has kind of an off-white drapey looking attire going on. She has also kind of fancied some vines into a certain kind of like grassy leafy crown, and has put on a few of like golden jewelry adornments to add a little bit of flash to it, and it actually looks kind of like fancy. It's not worn out like the first dress that they all saw her in. It's probably more spot on than Theo expected from people who probably shouldn't know too much about Greek history. And her hair is, instead of flowing down her back, has been pinned up in an elegant way to match those of the historic Greek. I would also like to say that she gave Daniel a matching leafy crown to put some Greek into his black attire.
And Miss Clara Rickmore.
I think having got the note, Clara would have tried to do research on like what like that should look like, even though she doesn't really like fully get it. So I think she's probably wearing an outfit with maybe like a slightly lower waistline than what would be fashionable to try and get that like draped effect. She would also have like curls piled on top of her head rather than having some of it flowing. I like to think she's kind of gotten bits of flat, like they're not the right flowers or like the typical sort of leaves you would have, but she's kind of like tucked little flowers like into her straps on her arms, and like maybe like a few flowers in her hair and stuff. Like she's made the effort. She's definitely not on like Vanessa's level, but she's like in between Annette and Vanessa in terms of what she's kind of come up with, I think. Yeah.
And Theodosia Courtenay.
So Theodosia would be wearing just like a Roman stola, so like the tunic thing that's like like the stola is like Roman people wore. It's like a sleeveless moment with like a really high collar, and it's all cloth, and it's kind of baggy, and then it tightens at the waist, and then it goes down and it's like a straight skirt. And they'd be wearing that in like all white, and it's like stained in places as well from like old parties, so there's like wine stains occasionally, where Theo has like embroidered, because they're really into embroidery, they've just like embroidered around the wine stains to make it look like they're flowers or something, even though like they're clearly wine stains. And they would also have a cloak thing on that they've got, which is actually just like a really big like blanket that they're a huge fan of, but it's like a very rich deep purple, so like this works. And then they have some like fake berries in their hair that are also used at the Christmas parties, but they're also used here. And they've like braided their hair instead of like brushing it through or anything. They're just like braided even the naughty parts. And it's just sort of like down, but then also like braided in places. Absolutely no historical accuracy to the hair whatsoever. Kind of looking like a side character on the 100 over here. That's Theo's moment. And they're also barefoot. So Quentin Tarantino, call me.
So what is everyone doing upon arrival to the party? And indeed, Theodosia, what are you doing to welcome people in?
Well, can I play my resolve token yet? When do I do it?
Yes, you may, because Fraser arrives wearing a sort of white tailcoat, and you can see sort of half mask that looks like sort of an old Greek philosopher. There's like half a beard hanging down as well, and it just hangs on one side. It's very like Phantom of the Opera looking as he just walks in.
I've actually changed my mind, and I've decided that, what's the name of your, I'm so sorry, is it Daniel that's your friend, Kat?
Yes.
Okay, I would like, can I play my resolve token as Marion? That as Marion is arriving, her carriage like splashes mud on like in the direction of Daniel and Vanessa, and it's gonna hit one of them. Who it's gonna be, who's to say, but it's gonna hit one of them.
And this is where we need dice.
Right? Saving throw.
I know. Not on the dress.
You could. We have Roll20 open. You could, if you want, to see who rolls higher. Do
You
it.
know what? This is
I
a very
support
good
it.
point. I don't ever use Roll20. Let's see.
Oh, Ed's like
I'm
trying to be like,
rolling
all right, so the
everyone.
progression of the scenes is very natural. Like as you walk in, I'm like, no, I come back.
Absolutely,
I'm
it's
in
not.
a carriage. And... okay,
Got a 13.
So
Not
Kat rolled a 13. Let's see what Daniel's gonna roll.
Okay.
Ooh, Daniel.
I've got a 5.
Oh.
So
Okay, Daniel.
Danny boy.
as the cart is moving, and as you, Vanessa, are walking along with Daniel, and he's sort of stretching out a bit, and he's like, I'm not used to wearing something quite so fancy. You just hear the rumble of a cart passing, and noticing the puddle that stands between you and its wheels, Daniel just very quickly stands in front, and there is this arc of muddy water that just splashes over him, and he just turns to you and black and brown, I suppose.
Hey, at least you chose black. Not a lot shows up on black. That's what I learned about Theo. They wear black so that wine can spill on it. So what's the difference? Wine, mud.
Well,
You'll fit right in, I'm sure.
I hope so.
It gives it character.
Thank you very much. Shall we continue somewhat damply?
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep moving. It'll dry it off. And she kind of grabs his hand, not like in a ooh, but like just as a firm grab, and like starts walking into the party with him.
Okay. So, Annette and Clara and Theodosia, you see Vanessa come in with a fairly stained, the brown on the black jacket is fine. It's more the patches around the white shirt that are the issue, as Vanessa comes in with someone that none of you have met, as the crowds continue to move all around you.
Do you two know who that is? With Vanessa?
I've never seen them. Theo?
I've seen them either. I like them though, a fellow black-haired person. I don't see many of those around. Everybody's out in the sun, exhausted.
They look a little dirty.
Yes, a fellow dirty black-haired person. Again, I don't see many of those around. Maybe he's being Diogenes. You know, I feel like some people didn't really get into the theme as much as I'd wanted. And I think that this perhaps is his attempt at making a statement.
Dio who?
Diogenes, philosopher, lived in an urn, plucked chickens.
He lived in
Looking
an
for an
urn.
honest man all through the square. You know, very dramatic.
It sounds like
Look him up.
a wonderful person to have at parties.
Right? Wouldn't he be fun? I really do feel like most of the ancient Romans, when you think about it, would be fantastic at parties. Not sure how an entire society subsisted upon their decisions, but a party would be fantastic. Annette, what ancient civilization do you think would throw the best parties?
Oh, well, I agree with you about the Greeks, but I was thinking Egyptians. I heard they really like cats. Can you imagine cats at all
There's
of
a
the
party full of cats.
Yes.
Oh, that would be amazing. Oh, that would be so darling because you remember, wasn't it? Wasn't it oh my goodness. It was Auntie Claire, not Clara. Auntie Claire. Didn't she invite us to her parties occasionally? And we would just go in the corner and we would play with the cat the whole time because we weren't allowed to have any of the alcohol.
Literally all the time. That the best part. That's probably the reason why I'm so curious about Egyptian parties. I think they would be so much fun with all the cats.
You know what? We'll theme your birthday party Egyptian themed. Oh, you didn't hear that? It's your surprise party.
Oh.
Shh, what?
Did not hear it.
What party? I don't know. Clara, you're invited too, dear. Be rude.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Vanessa, you see your friends off in one corner, just bunched together in a trio, and Daniel is looking around somewhat sort of nervously. This is a large crowd for him. And as the rest of you look around, you can see another couple of familiar faces around. Vanessa, you also see Marion stalking through the crowds, and Annette and Theodosia, you see Frasier moving over to where the wine is, and Clara, you see your father moving about the crowds and just introducing himself to various strangers in the room and engaging in genteel conversation with them. But what is everyone doing?
I would say that Vanessa, sensing that Daniel is uncomfortable, covered in mud, probably just kind of like overthinking everything as he's kind of new in this place and she has previously been new. She kind of goes into a protective and wants them to enjoy their time there. So she, still firmly grasping his hands, go, "Oh, my friends are actually right over there. I think you'd love them. And just keep your chin up. Parties happen, messes happen. You'll do great. Just chat and get to know them. They're well, Clara's really kind. And the other, they're fun."
All right, well, please, by all means, lead the way.
All right, and she quickly just rushes and tries to, she does see Marion in the scope, but tries to kind of like body block as she's walking and push him forward towards her friends.
As you pass, you just hear like whatever poor sod Marion has like pulled aside, and she's like, "Okay, but this side curls far too tight, wouldn't you agree? And this side curls far too loose. Should I fire her? She does have 3 children, but it's just the job's not being done."
I have no hair. I can offer no comment, I am afraid, Marion. But my wife, Julia, and you see the individual just walk off as you pass and move towards your friends, all of whom are stood together.
And she goes, "Ladies, I would love to introduce you to my new friend, Daniel."
Oh, good evening, Daniel. It's lovely to meet you. I'm Clara.
Oh,
You
nice to meet you, Daniel.
And you all as well. You are the one with the new pup.
Oh, yes, I am. Archie, I believe he's called.
Lovely. And Lady Rivers and Viscountess Courtney, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I have obviously heard of you living in Habershire, but it is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
How long have you lived in Habershire?
Not long. I've been positioned here as a tutor for probably upwards of 2 years now. But the hope is that I can hopefully move to London at some point soon and have tenure and be a professor there.
Once you've saved up enough to afford a carriage so you can visit, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, that is precisely it. Tutoring is fun and it is good, but it does not pay terribly well.
What is it that you tutor in?
Languages, predominantly. So English, German, French as well.
Highly educated.
Did you get the memo about, or not memo? Did you get the
Missive.
about Theo's?
Send it on the right way.
Yeah.
Did you? I was just trying to figure out the theme of your outfits.
Well, I have decided to come as someone who looks very out of place in high society, and very wet and very muddy as well. My expertise is in languages, unfortunately not in ancient history.
However, in eye-catching attire, sometimes you have to not fit in to stand out.
Indeed, his outfit does draw the attention of the eyes and the nose. Theo says as they're like kicking off a bit of mud off of their shoulder and wiping their hand on.
Annette's just like sipping her wine and just kind of like staring, like trying to figure Daniel out.
Annette.
Oh.
I've got it. Daniel, I love it.
What?
Is it about slinging mud? Is it being out of place in high society and having mud slung at oneself? Is that what this is? Vanessa, did you throw mud at this poor man just so his outfit would be metaphorical? Academics. My goodness.
And I just kind of like look at Daniel and I go, precisely. I'm surprised you were able to catch on so quickly. A quick mind you have.
That's very creative then.
Theodosia, just in case this wasn't on purpose, would you have a spare jacket or, I mean, in such a big house, you may have something Daniel could...
Are you cold?
No, for Daniel.
Oh! Well, he walked the whole way here dressed that way. I can imagine he'll do just fine socializing dressed that way as well. No one really looks at you, Daniel. Everyone just wants to hear what you have to say.
Well, I do not have much of interest, but I will try my best. Anyway, would anyone like some wine? I will go and fetch some.
Yes, please.
Yes, as well, thank you.
Could probably use another glass.
If you have the hands, I'd take one too.
We will make a great judgment of you based off the wines, Daniel.
And how much they're aired. Or not. Yes.
Right, well, I will be right back with some aired wine. And with that, he sort of almost a head above most of the other individuals in the room, pardon me, and makes his way off into the crowd, leaving the four of you on your own.
Can I play my monologue token on Clara?
Mm-hmm, yep.
No!
I can't say Clara is thinking much, to be honest. She, yeah, I don't see.
And it cuts to like your brain is like a little like flying around.
Thinking about the
Monologue token, and she's just like, is his name Archie?
I checked my notes and I didn't write it down, so I'm like, it could be. I think so. I think at first Clara was like somewhat interested in terms of just like marriage proposition. She was like, ooh, okay, new man. And then he said he was a tutor and she was like, well, not for me.
Sorry, didn't you get dumped because you didn't have the financial means to be an attractive prospect for somebody and that like broke your heart?
Hello, that does it. It's fine. And then Clara has not really drunk that much before, so, but she wants to be cool like Theo and Annette, so she was like, yeah, I want wine. And then we'll see how that goes, I guess. But she has not drunk like alcohol that to a big extent before, so yeah, I think that's it.
I'm gonna play a resolve token of my own. if it's okay with you, Hannah, I think Clara will get relatively drunk.
Chat, I was typing because I was playing resolve tokens to get Clara drunk.
Oh my God.
Let's get absolutely hammered, lads! Yes!
Oh, this is gonna be so great.
Yeah, sure. I can get drunk, I guess.
I can't wait
Next
to see
time
your
we play a
keg stand.
monologue token, it's just Darude Sandstorm. Just as
Let's have a rage shot, yes! Oh god, is Arthur going to be at this party? I don't know. It's fine. Anyway.
How many resolve tokens do we have? You know, if you give 10 subs,
resolve, right?
you give 10 subs, you know, you give...
If you have, I think you were here when we were speaking about it, Harley, but if you have a attribute, one of your tags that can be a reason, you can like use that as your reason to play a resolve token.
Does that mean that I get like a free resolve token or something? Or?
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, so
When you
basically-
nodded, you were like, you looked like you're falling apart. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically you can use your reputation tag. So using yours, for example, Harley, if you wanted to, let's say, convince someone that you were gifting them something, you could use your positive reputation tag of giving to basically make a decisive change in the story, and you would get rid of that reputation tag and you would exchange it for a resolve token to essentially use to shift the story in a way related to that tag.
Got it.
So
Okay.
that is another way you can do it.
I would actually also, because I was going to play a monologue token, but I was going to play it on Vanessa, if that, I can do that.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, so in this situation where Jacob has just left, she's, I don't really know how to do the monologue part, but she is not feeling necessarily like any like romance towards Daniel, but she's very excited to have a friend that is there that she can introduce, and she feels that she's finally kind of fitting into this new location, and that she has these friends, and that she has a new person that she can bring into this. She does see Daniel as a very respectful person, a kind person. Though she doesn't know a lot about him, she likes the fact that he's not necessarily part of the high society, and that he comes from more humble origins, and maybe doesn't put, I guess he has character and speaks with his character rather than his money, and she really, really appreciates that. And she smiles because she sees how her friends have kind of accepted him in, and she's excited. She feels like she's done something good, and is furthering connections here in this new home that she has.
So as the party continues, Theodosia and Annette, a familiar figure sidles up to the both of you as you observe the goings-on in the party, as Fraser appears behind you with a glass of wine. So, how is your latest project going? And he looks in the direction of Clara.
Oh, you know what? I was a little scatterbrained in regards to it, but now that you've brought me this lovely glass of wine, and they're just going to take the wine out of his hand, I feel I can center myself much better now. Annette,
Oh, good.
what are your thoughts?
Did you invite him?
Of course I invited him.
What do you mean by project?
I mean, I assume that's why you've invited the newcomer to Habershire here to...
You may not
mean-
be familiar with the concept, Fraser, but sometimes people spend time with others because they enjoy their company.
Well, you know, despite rumors to the contrary regarding Mr. Matthewson, I hear that she is looking for a potential suitor, and who knows the people of Habershire better than the two of you?
generous souls, aren't we, Annette? We're just looking out for a new arrival in the town. Really, we're just trying to find a man who's kind and handsome and has his priorities straight. So, Fraser, if you'd like to find a man like that, let us know. I'm not familiar with any myself, so we're running dry at the moment.
Speaking of running dry, Viscountess, you appear to be rather low on wine. And with that, he walks off into the crowds, disappearing.
I can't stand him. Every time I see him, I end up with a headache.
Every time I see him, I just want more. He always walks away just when the argument's starting. It's so boring.
Can I play a resolve token? Okay, I would like Marion to. Wait, can I do that? Can I?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would like Marion to like see Frasier and I don't know. Is it possible for her to be able to like, hear of the rumor of him murdering somebody and then confront him about it?
I mean, to be fair, she's probably the one who is going to spread this rumor at some stage.
Oh, Marion. Okay, so you're wanting Marion to be by this conversation and also
put up a big like show, like be very loud about it, and like basically he shouldn't be around because of rumor.
So Marion's gonna, as Fraser's walking away from Theodosia with his good little final word moment that he had going on, Marion's gonna sort of step in front and put one hand that is like, she's like painted her hands gold for some godforsaken reason, and the varnish paint stuff is just coming off on like everything that she touches. But that was just like her theory. Also, thank you so much for all of the subs. Thank you so very much. I will run the poll after this scene. And so she puts her hand on his. What's Fraser wearing?
He's basically all white. It's like a white tailcoat, white waistcoat, white cravat.
Okay. Theodosia, I was aware of the boldness of your character, but I was not aware of your disregard for your family name. Fraser, what are you doing here?
I'm here to enjoy wine, and I was just about to make my way to dance.
Interesting. Annette, have you facilitated that?
I don't even like him.
Interesting. Very interesting, because I've heard, Annette, that you and your family have done certain facilitations in regards to Fraser's actions and enjoyments. You are a danger, good sir. I know of what you have done.
I hope not too much.
Well, you killed a man. Was it in a duel? If it was in a duel, perhaps I can excuse it for the sake of a romance. But
with the you've killed a man.
Also, just to clarify, sorry, Marion believes the rumor, even though the rumor is upsetting, where it's just gossip. Marion's like, this is the truth.
Ness hears Marion kind of yelling about someone killing someone, and knows how parties go, and so kind of jumps in between and goes, Marion, have you been doing something different with your grass? I just can't keep up. It's just so lovely, and honestly, I wish that I could do just as you do. How does your hand take care of your grass and keep it so lovely?
You do know that my servant is Turkish, don't you? I am protected against the evil eye, Ms. Grimm. I'm sure you certainly would love to know how it is that I keep my grass at the perfect 2-inch height. For you yourself seem to be lacking in that occasion.
Yes,
Miss Grimm.
I wish I could keep up with you and be as good as you. Unfortunately, I'm not Turkish.
Well, I'm not Turkish either. My servant is half. Anywho, are you aware, Miss Grimm, of the fact that there is a convicted murderer?
This is happening. Fraser has disappeared into the crowd. And Clara, as you are making your way around the room, his familiar voice just next to you, Miss Clara, might I have the next dance?
Wait, it's Frasier.
It is.
Oh, okay. Yes, that would be lovely.
We've certainly clung on to Theodosia and my sister.
Oh, well, they're lovely, lovely people to hang out with, yes.
And they are helping you in matters of marriage, I understand.
Oh, well, you know, it's, once we become a certain age, it's the thing to do. Oh, well, yeah, no? Is it not?
Tell me, why are you so desperate to be married?
Why am I desperate to marry? Well, it's what I suppose I'm supposed to do, surely. You know, have children and have a family and a future with a man and she's like kind of like a little wobbly on her feet, I suppose, at this point. And I have a dog now, and it would be nice to go on walks with the dog and my husband and why wouldn't you get married?
I have to say, it doesn't sound like your heart is really in it.
I don't think you know much about my heart.
I know the hold that society holds over a person. I think marriage is an extension of that.
Well, do you not think you can marry for love also?
I don't think we have the luxury of marrying for love. It is not practical. Love has become a very mercenary business, I feel.
Have you never loved anyone, Fraser?
I think you are a little drunk, Miss Rickmore.
I'm not sure I am, though I do feel a little dizzy. Yes.
Perhaps we should stop dancing then.
Oh, yes. And I'd like to, as we kind of come to a stop, I just spill red wine all over his white blazer.
Babe, no, babe.
I would like to spend a resolve token.
Okay.
What could you do?
So as y'all are kind of doing this whole dancy deal and you are then go and spill wine, Arthur walks in and sees splashing wine on this man.
Okay.
He just stops in the doorway and gives a short nod of acknowledgement before passing through to the other room. Friend of yours?
Oh, friends. Strong word, I think. Well, you probably have heard I spilled all over you. Oh, my goodness. Oh.
It's fine.
I don't know it. I'm so sorry. I've just embarrassed myself completely. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I can just say it was me. Or Theodosia. Either is probably relatively believable.
Do you not like Theodosia?
On the contrary, I think probably get on like a house on fire, but fire is not always good for houses.
No. I think Clara just kind of stands there awkwardly, feeling very embarrassed and shy and just a little sad.
He just looks at you and you speak of love, but I don't believe you would be in such a rush to get married if that was your sole reason.
Well, that man, we were going to be married at one point, and then that didn't happen. And then, well, expectations, I suppose, have put a rush on it, and eventually I'll grow old, and I might as well try my best now.
So you see it as your responsibility.
I suppose a little, yes.
A word of advice. I have duties, I have responsibility, and I choose to shirk them all, because why be beholden to anyone who is going to look at you in any other way outside of how you can be of use to them? Life is too short. Do what you want, Clara. Do what you want.
Don't you want to meet people's expectations? Don't you want to further your family line because you respect it and you want to...
I think you probably have a fairly good idea about that from Annette by now.
She doesn't speak highly of you.
No. And nor should she. Now, I'm going to find some towels. I'm sure Theodosia has some that could be stained red somewhere. And he just bows and heads off, leaving you still slightly wobbly in the middle of the hall. And Annette, you see as your brother leaves Clara in the dance hall and moves through to some of the sort of what looked to be the direction of the servants' quarters, as you see him just wiping down a red stain on the front of his white waistcoat.
Yeah. Look at Fraser.
Oh,
He got what he deserved.
did he spill it on himself? He's always had a steady hand, you know. The servants, they have lots of different cupboards. Perhaps I should go and help him get some towels.
If you want.
He's going to spoil the look of the whole party, and I simply cannot have it. He's spoiling it enough by being here. I'll be back. And Theodosia just scutters off.
You find him just in one of the stairwells, and it's quieter here. The sound of the party has dissipated somewhat, and he's just wiping down his front, and a little bit of an accident.
You see the whole party, in fact, and Theodore's just like a bit tipsy at this point. The whole party, in fact, is simply I'm trying to find myself an archery tutor. So I invited everybody and I'm making them all wear white to see who has the steadiest hand and won't spill alcohol on themselves. So I'm afraid, dear Lord Rivers, you will not be my archery tutor. I'm so sorry.
That is a shame. So what have you come as then to this ancient Greek affair?
Oh, I suppose I'm some woman or other whose skills and wisdom in life were lost to childbirth or marriage or war, some equally upsetting situation. You know, you see, I was looking in the books, and they have statues of Caryatids. It's a statue that's holding it's a statue pillar. It holds up a house, and they're always women, you know. Why do you think that is?
I would suggest it's because subconsciously the men who built those places probably understood that they had not the strength to carry civilization on their backs. We're propped up by those around us.
I like that. Archery tutor you are not, Fraser, but philosophy, friend in philosophy, you will remain. Anyway, how did you get that?
Your project, Miss Rickmore, spilled on me.
She is a girl, you know. I don't like the same project. That implies that I have an ulterior motive in befriending her. Well, I suppose everybody has ulterior motives in befriending everybody, but, I'm not that bored. I do have things I do. I do have hobbies, Fraser. I write to you of them often. I don't need to have a girl as a hobby.
So what are your hobbies outside of your burgeoning interest in archery?
Well, I'm currently making my way through, as you know, Wollstonecraft's works. Thank you for the loan. And I enjoy embroidery. As you can see, it's quite handy when one makes stains all over oneself. Perhaps you should pick up embroidery as well, although I imagine it would be at a more industrial level considering the size of that stain that's there. And I keep trying to learn how to dance, but I can't quite do it. I've decided that if I just forever host the parties, I decide when everybody else dances and I decide what dance they must do, but I myself am not required to dance. Yes.
Well, it is remarkably easy, and we are free of prying eyes if you want to learn a few steps.
Yes, you know, the brain is elastic, Fraser. And what makes a brain more elastic than when it is, what's the word? Doused in wine. So, yes, okay.
All right, so we'll do a waltz. So 1, 2, 3. All right.
Do I roll for how well I do the waltz?
I would say that generally it's unsteady, but you get the sense of it, and what starts as a simple box step eventually moves through to just a sort of gentle circle around the space.
I imagine that Theo is like one might think that, I don't know what Fraser's doing, maybe he's hover handing, but Theo is like grabbing like way too firmly onto his hand, as if like letting go of someone during a waltz means that like you fall over like landing a bike.
Eventually you come to a stop, and he just sort of steps back, and there you can waltz. It's not archery, but still
Thank
useful.
you. Dancing tutor, you shan't be executed then. You know, I think I'm going to go and tell everyone to go do a waltz, or should it be a volta? Which one? Waltz or volta, Fraser, quickly.
Waltz, then you can show off your new skills.
Okay, very good. Volta will be for us then, like Elizabeth and Dudley. Anyway, farewell. And Theodore's just going to skitter off. Oh, and then sort of poke their head back in. By the way, the towels, just open any cupboard and you will find another. And in terms of where to dispose of them, throw them on the ground. I will do the same eventually. So, and then they
Thank you
skitter
very
off.
much. So,
Can I spend a resolve token?
yeah, of course.
Oh, no. No, what happens? No, I'm kidding. You can.
So as Theodosia turns away from Fraser and starts walking drunkenly away into a crowd, they run directly into Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my fault. Apologies.
You're lucky the mud has dried. I spent a good 15 hour and 15 minutes about embroidering this here peony, and you almost soiled it with your mud.
Viscountess, are you all right? Or
Oh, yes. No, I'm myself. Sorry, get used to this, dear Daniel. This is the presentation. This is the sauce. And they're gonna like have their wine with them and be like, this is the filet mignon, and this is the red wine reduction.
well, how about and he looks around and sees you at a distance, and just how about we have a nice. The music has slowed down a little bit. How about we all go through to the other room and perhaps.
No, I feel as if you're putting me as if I'm some adult old woman and you're trying to get me into another room. I am hosting this party, you know. This is my house. Well,
I just haven't had the pleasure of dancing at such a lovely occasion, and it is a lovely party, but I should love to know how that goes.
We're doing the waltz next. Do you know how to waltz, Daniel?
Somewhat. My mother taught me when I was very young.
Well, you're much taller now, so it's entirely different.
Right, okay.
Would you like to waltz, Daniel? Is that what you're saying?
And he looks around a little bit and sort of sees you at a distance, Vanessa, and that would be lovely. Viscountess.
Okay. Theo is noticing that his eyes keep dotting in different places, and he's like, she's like, I don't know. They're like, I don't know what you're up to, Mr. Guy. All right, then we will waltz, for I am quite accomplished in it, and I would like for you to have a good introduction into high society. So, well, I suppose this isn't much of a good introduction to high society, for it's not an accurate one, but it will be enjoyable nonetheless.
Well, thank you very much. And as the party continues, before we come to an end of this chapter, is there anything that anyone wants to do, any conversations anyone wants to have, anything anyone wants to reflect on before we come to a close?
I'm literally just deciding if I want to cause chaos for myself.
Please do it. I would love that. I feel like Clara and Annette have not been showcased.
Yeah, I want more Annette as well.
I don't have any tokens that I can play, but I'm like,
Yeah, I'm thinking about using. I kind of want to use a monologue token, but Hannah, you go first if you were gonna do something.
Can I ask for two things? Is that too many? I would firstly like, or I would like Clara and Arthur to maybe have a run in, and then I would like Frasier and Annette to have a run in. Preferably when it's later in the night and Annette is more drunk than she was at the start of the night.
Like a Fraser and that interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
So, as you're wandering around, Clara, in between all of the various guests, many of whom are a bit taller than you, once again, for the second time in a row, you find yourself bumping into the back of Arthur, who turns around and, Miss Rickmore.
Arthur.
Yes.
Are you having a pleasant evening?
Yes, I am. I've not been to a themed party in quite some time.
Well, you look dressed for the part.
Thank you. Yes, Caroline helped me with the Greek influence. I'm not.
Also, Theo didn't invite Caroline. I'd just like to state that really quickly before I run.
Oh, Caroline, well, that's so lovely for you that you have a wife that can do that. And why is she not here tonight with you?
No. I alone received the invitation. It was quite emphatic about that. But...
Well then, and she allowed you to be here? Alone?
Yes, I mean, she doesn't hold full sway over me, despite...
Well, I wasn't meant to be at parties with you. So, why is the room so big and weird?
And he reaches out and just sort of supports you. And it must be noted, like, eyes around the room do note this as whispers just start to percolate around. And how about we get somewhere to sit down?
Yes,
Can I play a resolve token?
Yes.
I just sat down, and that's the first thing I heard. I'm like,
Oh,
you missed.
I would like Marion again to see what's happening. Pass by again and see what's happening between these two.
what is happening? Because Marion was in the bathroom.
Clara is saying like, oh, did Caroline let you come here? I'm not supposed to be at parties with you. And then she kind of like fell forward and Arthur has grabbed her shoulder.
Is her shoulder exposed?
Yes.
Yes.
Shoulder.
Yes. I want Marion to like see this and then like just like remember it and I don't know, like maybe take note of it and then also confront them possibly.
Marion's gonna look over and see it happen. And then Marion's just going to be keeping an eye now on the rest of the interaction and perhaps interject if she believes things have become a bit too inappropriate for a public setting.
Okay. Yes, I'd like. I'd like to sit down. That would be...
All right. Let's go somewhere quiet. I believe the library is just through here.
Okay. And I kind of like hold on to him a little.
I was about to say that Laurie can have that one for free, and it's like you need a resolve token just for Marion to overhear something. However, I would like Marion to follow them surreptitiously and eavesdrop, and for that I will be having Laurie's resolve token.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So you come through to the altogether more quiet adjoining library, and it's full of colorful leather-bound tomes, and in the center of the room there is a sort of collection of leather chairs and sofas, and Arthur just guides you down to one of these and just sits across from you. And can I get you anything at all?
No, you can't. You never... What would you get me? I'm not even supposed to be at a party with you, Arthur. And when your wife finds out about this, she's gonna be so angry at me, and I just made friends with her. And
she won't. She doesn't need to.
She doesn't need to.
Untoward happened.
People already think it has, Arthur.
Yes, I am aware. But nothing has, and we are alone. This is between us, and I'm sure in time, as all rumors do, they will dissipate.
I came to this town to find someone to marry, and then you had to be here. And then whoever decided to spread the rumor had to do it. And now what if I just never marry because of this?
Oh, Miss...
Why wasn't I good enough for you? Why did it have to be... Why? Just money? Was that it?
There are certain expectations placed on...
I know about the expectations, Arthur. You were my expectations.
I've never been very good at I am sorry, Miss Clara. I am very sorry. I just didn't expect you to come to Habish. I am sure that in time you will find someone just... It might not be helpful to say this, but just as I did. Because you are remarkable, Clara. You are intelligent. You are spontaneous. You are...
Not enough, Arthur. Not enough for you, and not enough for... I don't think I want to find someone like you found someone. What if... I loved you. Like, genuinely. It wasn't a marriage of convenience or for monetary gain or... And I know you were better than me. I was fully aware of that from the day we first started talking. But I loved you. And I thought you loved me. And... why would I ever want that when all it does is hurt every day? Is that why you ran away? Or do you love her?
I cannot pretend that I do not.
Well... wonderful.
let me fetch one of your friends. They can perhaps get you a carriage home. Or your father? I believe I saw.
Do whatever you want.
And with that, he stands and leaves you in the library. And Marion, you're able to scamper away just before you are seen as he leaves the library, leaving you alone and the party to continue on in the background. Laurie, you had one more thing you were wanting to do, is that right?
Oh, I think I asked for free sharing. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, that is the end of chapter 3, which means that we move on to reputation after that monster of a chapter. So everyone can assess their character behavior since the last reputation phase according to your family backgrounds. Do you think you behaved according to your family background in either a positive or a negative light? So if we go in reverse order, so Lady Annette Rivers, how do you feel you behaved yourself during this particular chapter?
I think I got a negative tag, probably because of the actually, yeah, I think it was maybe.
Have you done any of the I don't think you did any of the negative tag things.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, I was looking at the actual negative tag and I was like,
oh no, it's not that. Yeah.
No, I forgot that I'm supposed to be looking at the other thing.
I think you were okay.
Probably positive then, because I guess I was still fine.
Okay.
Can we be neutral? Is that like a thing that we can do? Where it's like, I don't think I did anything.
Yeah, no, if you don't feel you did anything, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, in that case, Miss Vanessa Grimm.
Yeah, so I don't really know. Maybe made a sacrifice when bursting in to talk to Marion, but I don't know if it's
that
necessary.
Is a considerable sacrifice. But that's specifically to uphold the values of your place of origin. We haven't really mentioned your place of origin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've had one this time. I'm trying to think if me helping. Yeah, I don't think me helping Daniel really fits any of that either necessarily.
Because a lot of it has to do with like doing stuff despite a struggle to do so. Whereas like,
yeah. I think I'm neutral as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Viscountess Theodosia Courtney.
Yay! Me!
I'm gonna have a look. Let's see. So, I would say I didn't allow someone of lesser rank to talk down to me or treat me as inferior, did I? Because Daniel was like not condescending, but like he was trying to be like helpful, and they were very like no. So I think that's okay. Yeah, I also don't think I did that. Just for like chat's sake, by the way, everyone, there's things where it's like gain a positive tag if you, and there's certain criteria depending on your background. And mine is stuff like, did you act in service of duty or morality in a way that compromised your desires? Did you like make a sacrifice to uphold the superiority of your rank? And I don't think I did. I didn't really do anything or have any conflict in that chapter, I think. So, you know.
And finally, Miss Clara Rickmore.
I have to say also, I don't know if the only thing, the only thing is maybe acted on desire in a way that compromised your duty or morality, but I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think you did. Yeah, because you were drunk and being like, I love you, and like that stuff. I'm like,
I didn't know if it needed to be, because I wouldn't have done that in front of everyone. But
yeah,
I did. But the drunk, I think, does fit that, because I don't think. I don't think young ladies are meant to be drunk.
Yeah, I know. I would count that.
But I don't know what negative tag to pick up.
You can also make one up if you think of one. What are the ones that you're given? Your humble origins, right?
Yeah, I could have dirty, poor, or stupid. Which
you know what I would thought?
I don't think
make one up.
Go for it.
What about like blabbermouth? Like in the way that like you just like
Blabbering.
can't, like like you can't like not say what's on your mind kind of thing. I don't know.
Uncensored.
Up to you. If you don't like it, you don't like
It's
it.
what other people think of them, right? Not actually what they are, because I was going to say that's not actually Clara, but if that's
No,
what
it's
people
actually
thought of
Clara,
her.
But people might think of that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm done with that.
Okay.
Which takes you to your first negative
Oh, it does.
reputation condition.
Oh no!
So either someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you, or a connection turns against you and spreads rumors and malice behind your back.
Oh.
Babes.
Oh god. I would say maybe Jacobs, because he's a religious man. Maybe he is kind of appalled at like the behavior of like being drunk and stuff, so he's like, well, I don't think you should marry, you're a harlot and because like I think drinking publicly to excess with the rumor about Arthur, that combined would be so against his morals, so I think that kind of works.
Okay, lovely. So, so when you come back from the party, and your father is with you, and the following morning, coming downstairs, Mr. Jacob Jacobs just shakes his head and just leaves, leaving you and your father alone in this man's house. And the next few days are going to be very, very awkward indeed.
This has been a horrible visit to this town. No good has come of it.
You literally have a dog, and that's the only good thing. I feel really bad for Clara.
Which takes us on to creating rumors and scandals.
Oh, sick!
Hannah, would you like to create or create any new rumors or spread any that already exist?
God, let me go to the rumors tab. Oh God. I'm so bad at coming up with rumors.
Oh, so you get to like have the perspective of like a connection you play, right? As well, like you can be like, oh, Anastasia would spread this rumor, right? I don't remember.
You can basically be omniscient in your rumors. It doesn't necessarily have to be from one of your characters. It's just any rumor you want to spread.
Okay.
But
That
if
you
Hannah,
think a
you
town
want to
would do.
think on one.
If anyone else has one, yeah, go.
I have one. Okay.
Kat is terrifying. Yeah, Kat comes up with
I've
that.
been thinking about what rumors, and I'm like,
Oh wait, sorry. No, you go. I'm just gonna steal mine from chat, but you go.
Okay. So, I heard a rumor that Fraser has been actually blamed for killing a man. However, he's just taking the blame and is a cover-up because Annette's hatred for a man brought her to kill someone.
That's such a good rumor.
That is really, really good.
Like, he's going along with it, but Annette was actually the one to kill the man.
Oh my god.
Oh my
love that.
God. That's so good.
That was my last week rumor. I was like, I need to say it.
I love it.
So the first rumor to be created: Lady Annette Rivers killed a man, and Lord Fraser has taken the blame to protect her.
ooh.
So, Laurie, are there any rumors that you would like to create, or any existing rumors that you would like to spread?
I'm gonna spread my own rumor. as Lori, not as Annette. As it's too good just to see it happen.
Oh no, you're good. So it's treated as fact.
Yeah.
It is treated as fact.
I love this.
Holly, are there any rumors you would like to create and or spread?
Yes. I would like to start a rumor that Theodosia has like several times, like frequently tried to like find a match, and they've been rejected every single time, which is not true because they have not like sought people out. But I'm gonna have that rumor. I'm gonna start that rumor.
Okay. So, Viscountess Theodosia has approached many potential suitors and has been roundly refused. Okay. Hannah, any rumors you would like to create and also...
Yes, this one is entirely my own and definitely not stolen from chat. But
Not.
Theodosia is corrupting Clara into their drunken, disorderly ways, and like Clara is only like being drunk and etc. because Theo is such a bad influence.
Me never. What are you talking about?
Okay, lovely. So we then go in reverse order. So Hannah, any that you would like to spread and or create?
Power move will be spreading that one you just.
I would like to start a rumor about that Daniel and Vanessa they used to be a thing, but Daniel still has feelings.
Okay.
And that's why he's back. It was just the shawl was an excuse.
Okay. Used to be together and he still has lingering feelings. Okay. Harley, any that you would like to create or spread?
I would like to spread that one. The one that Daniel and Vanessa were together and he's still got feelings. Yes, sir. Thank you. Also, sorry, could you explain the fading thing as well?
So we'll get to that once all rumors have been spread. But Laurie, any you'd like to create or spread?
I want to create a rumor that Daniel is suffering financially based off of, you know, how he came to the party like all dirty, and that people are just talking and thinking that he's just suffering financially.
No, wait, can you make it like he's homeless? What do you think of that, Laurie?
Yeah, yes.
Like, can it just be like he's straight homeless?
Yes, he's homeless, yes.
Let's not be kind.
To the NPC.
I've decided that, like, just to, again for chat, rumors, if they're not spread, are just considered like gossip. Like, they're considered gossip. If they're spread, they're considered fact. Marion, in my head, considers every single rumor to be a fact. And I'm like, there's 2 murders. Oh my god.
She's like, hey, but she hasn't been so eventful in years.
Wow.
And Kat, finally, any rumors you would like to create and or spread?
Arthur is unhappy in his marriage and wishes he never left Clara.
Kat, you are the wildest rumor maker of us all. I love it.
Last week was practice, and I was like, okay, I get this game.
I really enjoy how Annette has, like, for the most part, dodged any rumor or scandal, except for the one of they committed
a murder.
Like, went 0 to 60 for Annette. I love it.
So, all of the rumors from last time, which were not spread, because they have been little more than idle gossip in the town, they will now be marked as fading out. So they will still be active and around the town in whispers for the next round, but if they are not spread in the next rumors phase, they will disappear into obscurity. So that ends the rumors and scandal phase. It is now on to the final stage of this half before we take a break, the epistolary phase, which is everyone gets to write up to 2 letters, either from their character or from a connection, or alternatively, you can use a resolve token to force someone to write to you as well. So, in order of who I can see, Hannah, is there anyone that you would like to write a letter to?
Yes, I would like to write 2 letters. First of all, Anastasia would like to write a letter to Daniel. inviting him around for tea. And just being like, dearest Daniel, I'm so sorry we didn't get to meet the other day where you stopped by, but having heard of your arrival, I would love to invite you over for a cup of tea, and hopefully Vanessa will also be in attendance, and we can all get to know one another. Best, Anastasia.
The second one?
To Frasier, which, from Clara, which is, Dear Frasier, I must apologize for my behavior at Theodosia's party. Having not previously drunk quite as much ever, I treated you rather regrettably and not as I would have wanted. I'm sure you have people who can do it, but I would happily clean or replace your outfit. I'm not quite sure I remember the words we shared about marriage, but I would be interested in discussing them further. Either way, I can make up for if I can make up for my actions in any way, please let me know at your earliest convenience. Bestest wishes, Clara.
Okay. Lovely. And Kat?
Okay, so if a rumor has been spread, is it still just like a rumor, or is it fact?
If it's spread, it's accepted as fact, yes.
Okay. Dang. Can I think on my letters real quick? Like, can we go to the night? Okay.
Yeah. Laurie, are there any letters that you would like to write?
Yes, I want to write from Annette to Clara. And I want to say, my dearest friend, Clara, I saw you dancing with Frasier, and I don't fall for his most gentlemanly ways. He is not to be trusted. And as your friend who cares deeply for you, I just want to give you a warning that he is not who he says he is. Your newest and most loving friend.
Oh, that's such a cute sign off. Also scary.
And any other letters at all?
From anybody or from us?
I think that's it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Harley?
I have two things I want to do. One, I would like to have a letter written to me. So I think that. But also I'm going to write a letter as Marion. And I would like to write it to the local scandal sheet. So like to like the tabloid of the time, the lady Whistledown. Why, Hannah? What's that face for?
I am scared.
What's the matter?
It's the Habershire Harp. Is
The
what you are
Habershire
wanting.
Harp.
The Habershire Harp. Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so dear Habershire Harp, as a member of good and high society, I would like to keep you in the loop and inform you of some events that have been occurring within polite spaces. It may interest you to know that Lady Clara Rickmore and, oh my God, what is his name? Arthur
Mathewson.
Arthur Mathewson. Okay, so like Marion will misspell the word Mathewson, but like she gets it. Mr. Arthur Mathewson, when in attendance at one of the Courtenay's infamous parties, were found to be crying and kissing each other in the dining room between lovelorn professionals.
Crying and kissing.
Yeah, like crying and making out.
It's a very... Oh, so that's the same word.
Between confessions of heartfelt regret and longing. I wonder if this would be of interest to perhaps any possible patrons of Ms. Rickmore, or indeed Arthur's estranged wife. Signed, golden-haired. Marion's very fucking stupid. I'm imagining one of those like when you write to like a heartbreak,
She's so
like
clever,
like agony on column where like you sign it off being like, from like Blondin missing out, all that kind of thing. Or like from like redheaded regretter, but instead they're just like golden head.
Golden head.
Beautiful. And I'd also like to spend a resolve token because I'd phrase it right to me. I don't know why. Make up why. I was spending a different phrase. I was paying attention.
So one morning, a couple of days after the party, as you're coming down to breakfast and you see the lawn of your estate outside, the tall windows that line the breakfast hall, you see that out near the front steps of your mansion, there is a cart, and it is full of various crates and boxes. And you watch with some interest as one of your household staff goes down and, receiving this, sort of brings with them a note from the cart. And entering in, just, this is for you, ma'am. And she passes it over. And inside, it simply reads, "Dearest Theodosia, it makes no sense for you to be without. In the grand narrative of our lives, this was going to be drunk by one or the other of us anyway. Here's to many exciting and forgotten evenings. Your friend, Fraser." And Kat, any letters that you would like to write?
Yeah, I think that being the proper man that he is and very respectful, Daniel's actually going to write a letter to Theodosia. And basically he just says, "Thank you so much for," am I allowed to choose what he says?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. I was like, don't want to take your part. But I basically want him to just say, "Thank you so much for allowing me to come and welcoming me into your grand home." And he basically kind of checks in on her to make sure she's okay, because he did see her like very, very drunk and he was very worried about it. And also signs off basically, "If you'd love to discuss the languages ever, feel free to reach out," and just signs it in, I mean, it's on kind of ruddy parchment, but in very nice handwriting, Daniel. And he sends that to Theo. And then I think that's the only letter that probably needs to be sent. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So, those letters sent off, we are going to take our break, and we will be back in a little bit to start the next novel chapter. But yeah, that's everything from us. So over to you.
Awesome. Go get some snacks and drinks and stretch your legs and take your meds and kiss your pets. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We're so happy to return to you. I can't wait to see what this next section has in store for us all. I think we could just jump into it, really.
Just a reminder as well, if you're enjoying when we randomly go, "I want to spend a resolve token," and we make horrible things happen to the other characters, every 10 subs, either new subscriptions or gifted, we grant a resolve token to someone of Kat's choice. And how close are we to the next one?
We are 7 away. 7 subs.
I've been throwing subs around today.
And then I think, yeah. And then maybe we can get everyone to have had a resolve token.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
We want the chaos.
Maybe we'll add Ed's name to the pool so Ed can start getting a resolve token.
I thought you were about to say maybe we could just make bad stuff happen to Ed.
Yeah, I want to spend a resolve
No, that's
token.
not what we
Suddenly a
meant.
man arrives. He's brunette and wears like a waistcoat and a little cravat that's black. And then I start dueling him in the middle of the party and I stab him and then I shoot him with my laser eyes.
Thank you, Laurie. Thank you for gifting the sub. Now we're only 6 away. Woo!
Say chat. Bad number 6. Math.
So, as we approach another novel chapter, what do we want? Do we want another event? Do we want visitation? Or do we want split, which is just kind of scenes happening simultaneously? So it's entirely up to everyone.
I know what I would like, but I would like if it's a split.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think split sounds kind of fun because I think we've got a few invitations from everyone. Like, I think most people wanted to talk to someone, so.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So, with a split in mind, who wants to talk with who? What are the conversations everyone wishes to have?
I'd like Theo to be at some sort of administrative meeting to do with the estate or their position or something like that. And I would presume that other peerage people are there. I don't know if Annette would be there or if Annette's family would be there. But I would like that.
Okay, sure thing.
Also, I would like Anna, Theodosia's friend, to be there.
Okay. So we have peerage. Laurie, is there anything that Annette would like to be doing, or do you just want to be present at this peerage event?
Can I do the event and then also do another visit, like at another time, or?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think you just have to like leave halfway, wouldn't you, or something? Because it's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
simultaneous. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I want Annette to go and pay Marion a visit.
Okay.
Why would you do that? I like role playing with you, too, but like, what are you doing?
I have a plan.
Okay. I'm scared.
Involve murder.
Kat, is there anyone that you want to visit or be visited by, or anything that you would like to do?
Probably just play out the Daniel, Anastasia, Ness, Delio, I think.
Okay. And Hannah, anything that you would like Clara to do during this time?
I think either talk to Frasier. Wait, is Frasier at the thing?
He can leave halfway through.
Okay, maybe talk to him or my dad. I think either or.
Okay. Okay, lovely.
Oh, quick question. Are our resolve tokens, have they reset as well?
Not yet, so that will happen at the end of this. So you still have the ones that you have been left with. So, in order, let's start with the peerage event. So, Harley, where is this happening, and what is it in regards to?
Okay. I would imagine that it is in regards to some kind of like neighborhood thing, and the peerage people are just sort of there to like add some like gravitas to the moment. So I would imagine it's maybe what season are we in? Like weather-wise, like in the year?
So we're in summer at the moment, so it is quite warm.
I would like to imagine it's planning for maybe like a little summer fair.
Okay, lovely. So would you like to host this, or would you like it to be hosted elsewhere?
I would like for it to be hosted at Anna's house. Anna is Theodosia's friend who we haven't met yet. It's a connection of mine. And they are like, not like peerage, but they're like from money. But she's the middle child, but I'd like to imagine that maybe Anna's like sibling, like the heir, like the person in charge of Anna's household is like away for some reason. So Anna's like, oh yeah, I'll host the thing. And then just invites everybody and expects Theo to also invite everybody. So it's at Anna's house.
Okay, and Anna is played by Kat, I believe. So as you arrive at Anna's estate. And you see on the lawn there are a number of different tables and chairs set about. You can see a couple of games as well set up around the area as well that a few people are deigning to play. But there are cakes and there's tea set out all about. And you see Anna off to one side. And also in amongst the crowd, you do also see Lady Annette, as well as her erstwhile brother, Lord Fraser, who is helping himself to some tea and looking none too happy about the choice of beverages on display. But Theodosia, as you arrive, what are you wanting to do?
I'm going to go over to Annette immediately, of course. Oh, thank you so much for coming. I know that you and Anna aren't very, I don't think you've had the occasion to meet her often, have you? She's lovely. She's great.
No, I haven't met her. I would love to. I know that you speak very highly of her.
Yes, yeah. She also has siblings, so perhaps, I don't know, I'm terrible at thinking of things people have in common with each other. I'm sorry. You're both very nice and I like you both, so it should be fine. I have a terrible headache.
Does she also hate her sibling or no?
Kat, does Anna hate her sibling? Anna's really cheerful, so I presume
I was gonna say, I don't think there's a negative part in this family.
There's not a negative bone in Anna's body.
No.
I mean, her mother wishes that she cared about marriage more, but I suppose that's just a natural state of womanhood, isn't it? So I don't think there's any sibling tension. No, I'm sorry.
Oh.
But you are much more than your dislike for your brother. You know that, right, Annette?
Yes. I've got a lot on my mind with him, so.
Is it anything, is anything going on? Because I feel like we don't discuss family affairs much beyond surface level things. I'm not quite myself. I have a terrible headache. So if you're about to confide in me, now would be the time.
You're right. This is probably the perfect time for me to talk to you about this. I
didn't like that delivery. That scared me. What happened?
So I can't stand the way that he is so irresponsible with our heir. I feel like you know that my father just treats me like a normal woman in this world, and I want more for myself. And I feel like Fraser doesn't really care about that, and he doesn't care about our family's heir and what he could do with it, and he just irresponsibly acts just not like he doesn't deserve our heir, basically.
Have you, there are many women, if they have administrative positions within the household, they can have the man of the house's ear. And I mean, nothing separates the two of you except when you were born. I think you're both as intelligent as the other.
My father, because Fraser is older than me, believes that I am unworthy and that I should do what I should do, which is get married and do all of the normal womanly things, but I want more for myself. I mean, you've known me all my life and you know that I am not like other women.
You have never been like other girls or other women. You have never been like anyone I've ever known, Annette. And Fraser is the same. So, if I can ever push him towards one line of life or the other, please do let me know, because I talk to him a lot. He makes me feel better about myself because I just see myself reflected. Narcissus, but I could tell him how terrible it is to be, it's awful it is having an inheritance. Ugh, such a burden that weighs upon me. It does. I can't imagine someone like myself being in charge of a household. That would be terrible. So, I want the best for you, Annette. I do.
I've never tried talking to him myself, but he just doesn't seem like he actually has ever cared about what I wanted, just of the way that he acts in general. So
you could try getting him very drunk and then trying to have a heart-to-heart. That always works in my experience. Should we do that? Should we try and do that?
We could. That would be something that I think we'd have a very easy time to do it. So
I think that yes, I don't think somebody like him could uphold the reputation of a station like ours.
Yes, I agree. I appreciate you listening to me. This is something that, even though we are so close, I've never felt like I could really talk about this specific thing that's on my mind. So,
Father left recently and reminded me how pertinent certain responsibilities of mine are, and it's made me think about whether or not I deserve them. And when I think of whether or not I deserve them, I also think of who does deserve them. And I cannot imagine someone worthier of a high station than yourself.
I appreciate you saying that.
So, shall we mingle then? Anna, I must introduce you to Anna.
Yes. Please introduce me. I've heard so many wonderful things.
I'm gonna walk over to Anna.
So, on the other side of Habershire, on the estate of Lady Anastasia, a very nervous-looking Daniel begins to make his way towards the estate. And Vanessa, you see him coming from a little while off, and you too, Lady Anastasia, setting out as you are the tea and the sandwiches outside. And all three of you very, very aware of the prying eyes from the next door neighbor. Daniel slowly makes his way over to where the two of you are.
Oh, hello. Welcome.
Hello, Lady Anastasia. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It is lovely. Please sit.
Lovely estate that you. Oh, thank you very much. Miss Grimm as well. Lovely to meet you as well.
Yeah.
And not meet. We've met.
Not once or twice, yes.
Yes.
It's great to see you. How did you enjoy the party?
Well, the party itself was lovely. The reputation I had accrued after the fact, less fun. People seem to assume that I'm constantly breaking into Mrs. Whitehall's home, which I've had to explain numerous times to the local authorities that I do actually rent there. But it's neither here nor there, really.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Well, if you ever need anyone to help explain the situation, I'd be happy to help.
Oh.
I mean, I did get you into the messy situations that you got in the first place, so.
I heard it was actually quite messy in the most literal sense.
Yes. It was. I was covered in mud, which first impressions and all that is quite fun. But
it was unique.
Certainly.
Certainly that. Yes. So, Lady Anastasia, how long have you and Miss Grimm known one another?
Oh, well, gosh, how long has it been, Vanessa? Oh, well, time flies.
What is time, really?
I know, I'm so busy. It just sometimes the clock I forget it exists.
We work so hard, it just...
Of course we do.
Going by.
We really do. How long have you two known each other? Because I've not met you or really heard of you, and I just wondered,
Well, not much more than a couple of days, really.
Yeah, shortly, yes. I got the puppies from Daniel.
Oh, you're the puppy boy. Oh, that's lovely.
I lodge with Mrs. Whitehall. Mrs. Whitehall is the owner of the German Shepherds.
Not a puppy boy.
I have a room.
He's good with Willie, though.
Well, that is lovely to hear, darling. I love to hear that this dear man is good with Willie. That's wonderful.
I am. It has been known on occasion, but no. I like.
What do you like, darling?
It's all about a firm hand, and then they
yes,
come to you.
Quite.
But I am rather fond of Willie.
What a lovely name for a dog. It truly I feel like when you name a dog, you have to think about what you would be comfortable yelling out at the top of your voice in a park. And truly,
Absolutely.
Willie is just perfect.
And I'm sure the same is true of your horses as well. I'm sure they have many delightful names. Perhaps you might like to regale me with what they are.
Of course, I would love nothing more, you lovely man.
Thank you, Lady Anastasia. I'm sure Miss Grimm as well probably is familiar with
Yes.
as well. How many horses do you have?
Well, actually, not as many as I'm sure you would like. Well, we have...
Your favorite, Anastasia? Which one is that again?
We have a Spirit, the stallion.
Ah. Hey.
Yes, and
Everyone really likes him.
he's lovely.
Too much, I would say, but
He's got a je ne sais quoi about him.
As the conversation is playing out
horses.
over on Anna's estate, Anna, you are approached by Theodosia and Annette.
Darling, this is Annette. I've spoken to you of her a couple of times. So
Annette, it's so lovely to meet you. And Theo, no drink in your hand?
no,
This is a party, my love. You need? Well,
I thought it was a meeting.
it is, but any meeting's a party if you're drinking.
Very true. And Theo is kind of like, I'm stating this as I was doing it, so no one in chat thinks I'm just losing it. But Theo is doing what they often do, where they kind of just like shut off. They kind of like dissociate, and I'm just like, okay, what are we doing? What are we here for? Here for meeting. Got it, meeting. Haha. Because Theo's not feeling so good. I mean, if you're the host, are you not? Do we not? I didn't see any wine, so.
Well, let me get you one. And she kind of claps and it's fancy.
This isn't clicking.
No, we're clapping. And two of the hands come up with trays of wine.
As this is happening, you notice that Fraser's attention is immediately over to where you all are.
No.
And as he's coming in your direction, another figure steps into view. As Annette, your father, steps forward. Theodosia, it's so good to see you. It has been so long. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Lord Rivers?
I am older than I was. How is your father?
I would presume the same, unless he has found some sort of stone of the alchemist to keep him ever young, but he seems grumpier by the day, so I'd presume age comes for him too.
It is our loss in life. We become less jovial as we grow. Annette, you are behaving yourself, I hope.
Always behaving myself, Father.
Good.
She's been very helpful. I've been asking her about her thoughts about the fair, and she has quite a lot to say in regards to her ideas. She's more creative than I remember.
Well, I shall leave you both to it. And Fraser! And Fraser arrives. Good to see you, son. How are you? I'm well, Father. I'm well. Viscountess, sister, and I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
My name's Anna.
Anna. Lovely to meet
You're
you.
at my estate. It's lovely to meet you as well. A drink?
Please. I assume we are all partaking.
Oh, I
Yes.
absolutely have.
Yes. And then Annette also grabs one since she didn't at first, and now she feels compelled to drink. So she grabs
Yes.
one.
Oh, It's a red flag. Theo also takes a drink. They're the last to do it, but they take one too.
And Anna raises the glass and she goes, to meetings.
To meetings.
To meetings.
Meetings.
Now, I am afraid, as much as planning fairs fascinates me no end, I cannot stay for too long. I have another engagement, I'm afraid. So after this drink, I will probably head off.
Have you submitted any ideas for the fair?
No, none particularly. I'm not very good at, well, the imagination of these things is quite beyond me. So long as there is alcohol, which I have campaigned for repeatedly, I should be absolutely fine, my Countess.
You know, it is one of those things that we must do. We must appear to these things and at least be slightly helpful, lest one of the French revolutions find their way here.
Well, quite. How was the rest of your party?
I don't remember.
Sign of a good evening, then. Did you receive my letter?
Oh, Theo looks kind of guiltily at Annette.
I know, I was just gonna say, Annette just kind of looking back and forth at them and very confused.
And Anna looks very excited.
Yes, a delivery that you had arranged. It was very kind of you.
What friends are for. Right. I am on my way to meet with a mutual acquaintance. I am off to pay a visit to Miss
Miss Rickmore. So you know her name now. How good of you to stop referring to her as though she were an object of mine.
Well, she did spill wine on me, which, as I'm sure you can attest, usually results in at least last name terms.
You probably deserved it, so.
That I probably did, sister. That I probably did.
I didn't know that you were becoming so close with her.
Well, one likes to make newcomers feel welcome in town.
I've never known you to be the sort to do that. You sort of keep to yourself for the most part. Or keep to
I keep to
ourselves.
myself with a lot of individuals, Theodosia.
Anna puts her hand out.
Red.
She says, well, you never have to keep to yourself around here.
Then I kind of interject, I will take another, we're getting in the middle, I'll take another glass of wine, because Annette's already drank half of her glass. Excuse me.
Downing it. She goes, oh, yes, of course. Let me run inside and get more.
Thank you. That would be lovely. Get plenty.
Theo's gonna go with Anna, so just leaving the two siblings alone. Bye! See you later! Bye now!
Annette, I might be in need of a place to stay tonight. Am I welcome to just take one of your spare rooms?
Is there a reason why you're in need of a place to stay?
Well, it's rather long way back to mine, so I was hoping, from one sibling to another, you might be able to grant me this one favor.
I suppose so. I'm surprised you haven't asked Miss Whitmore about a room, since you're becoming so close with her.
My dear sister, that would be awfully forward.
You two were awfully close at the party, so I guess staying with me would be fine.
Try not to let the old man push you too off balance.
I'll try. And then she just kind of drinks an entire glass of wine.
Well, sister, I will see you soon, and pass my regards on to the Viscountess.
I certainly will.
Cheers. And with that, he downs his wine and heads off towards the stables to retrieve his mount. Back at Lady
Why are you
Anastasia.
smiling?
I was like, don't call Clara that.
Back at Lady Anastasia's, as the three of you continue drinking tea and sandwiches, and by this stage you have recounted all of the various names of the horses you have.
So many.
Daniel just sits there and where do you hail from, Vanessa?
A small town north. It's a bit of a ride from here.
Well, I mean, from my accent, you could probably tell I'm no stranger to the north. But whereabouts I probably passed it on my way down.
Maybe very small. Have you heard of Talladay? It's very small. It would make sense that you wouldn't know of it.
No, I can't say that I have. Do you know? I mean, which county is it in?
A curious mind, Daniel. My goodness.
Well, you know, I being a newcomer in these parts, it's refreshing to know that I am not alone in that. Whereas you, Lady Anastasia, you've been here a long time.
I have. Yes. Sorry, you were.
No, I was just going to say your family, I'm assuming, has had the estate for quite some time. It's been as I understand it, not that I've looked into the history of the place, but yourself and Hembrook Hall has been here mostly since the beginning. Is that right?
Well, I suppose it was my husband's house, and then, ex-husband, and husband, and now I live here with Ness, and we are quite happy. I think just running the show.
I feel like we do pretty well together.
Bearing in mind the rumor that is currently spread and considered fact, Daniel, just so you work well.
Oh.
To take 2 moments to say there is one rumor spread that Anastasia is in love with Ness, and there's another that Daniel still has feelings for Ness.
Why do you think I invited him round, darling?
Those who need advice.
Yes, I think we work together rather splendidly.
Well, that's lovely. I'm glad that you two have found one another, and that.
So, how did you get into teaching?
Well, my father was a professor, and he gave me his love of languages. My mother is German, and so that gave me my understanding of German, and so it sort of all snowballed from there. Speaking of which, actually, I'm afraid I brought nothing for yourself, Lady Anastasia, except for my company. But Miss Grimm, I have something that might potentially interest you.
Oh.
I have a friend. Shocking, I know, but I have a friend, a writer who lives in Germany, and he frequently sends me a new piece of literature that, living in England, I might otherwise not have access to. So he sent me this recently, and he rummages around in the satchel that he carries with him, and just said, this was only released last year. It's called Kinder und Hausmärchen, roughly translates as children's and household tales, but it's quite fun. It's dark morality tales, predominantly for children, but they're anyway. The authors, 2 brothers, they released it last year, and it's You Share a Name. You give or take an additional M, but I have no idea if you speak German. But
I'm not fluent, not like you. But maybe you could help read through it sometime. Maybe we could cover the stories over tea.
Yeah, some of them perhaps not quite. They might put us off our tea, but yes, absolutely.
Well, I always love literature of all sorts and all topics. So that would be. This one seems a little different than the rest of my collection, but I'd love to help.
Well, I will. We will make arrangements, and of course, Lady Anastasia, if you would like to join.
Yes, I am here. If I want to join, I wouldn't want to be a nuisance.
Well, you wouldn't. It's entirely up to you.
Thank you. That's very, very sweet of you, dear.
Have you seen Anastasia's art? It's beautiful. Language is somewhat an art, but
I have not, but it would be my pleasure.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind. Yes, I like to paint and draw and do also. Well, perhaps you two could do the reading, and then I can do a little portrait or a sketch of you both. That would be rather sweet.
I am not nearly well dressed enough to be any kind of life model. But
you can come back.
If he's going to say no, I spend a resolve token so that he has to do it immediately.
Oh, I'm on another day, but we can do it now. I'd love that.
Now.
I can go get my paints. That sounds absolutely delightful. Right, I'll be right back, you two. I will be right back. Just stay there, set the scene, and I'll come back with canvas and... Oh, okay. I scuttle off.
Perfect. She's very dedicated to her art. You know an artist, if they get it in their mind, they have to continue and do it in that moment, apparently.
Yes. So, how would you like to set the scene? I can have the book and read, or...
Yeah, I mean, we can go about it as you do maybe some of your lessons. Maybe we have some seats over near the garden. Outside is a beautiful place to read.
That would be lovely. I would enjoy that tremendously, Miss Grimm.
I come back. Well, why are you still just sat there? Come on, like, move closer together, or just, I don't know, look like you care about it at least. Come on.
We were thinking out in the garden.
Natural sunlight.
Yes.
Oh, I do like the idea of that. And maybe the flowers in the background, and that's
exactly
like a pair of literature enthusiasts just reclining and reading a book together.
Reclining. Oh.
Well, you know,
Well, of course we can sit. I wouldn't want you to be uncomfortable.
Relaxed. You know, I don't want tense structures in my art. I want.
Do I make you uncomfortable?
Do you? Does she make you uncomfortable? Do I make you uncomfortable? Ness.
I feel like I'm being led in, but no, you're both exquisite hosts, and this is the first garden party I've been invited to, so this is very pleasant. This is very nice.
Well, I promise it won't be as intense as Theo's party. We have a much shorter guest list.
Well, that is reassuring. Shall we?
Yes. Come on now.
Recline. Okay. And as they
recline,
Theodosia and Anna, as you walk off away from Annette and her brother, what are you talking about?
I think Theo's kind of just like quiet and just like walking.
And I think I think Anna's ready to pry like a best friend would
Do it,
pry.
bestie. Go. In my head, the way that I imagine like Theo and Annette's relationship is like they're both like people of status and they grew up together and they're like people of status and that kind of thing. So Theo still kind of has like a guard up and like this is a person who my reputation is like centered around kind of thing. Whereas with Anna, because Anna is so like, I don't care about family, whatever. I just want to do my plants. Woo! I'm just like, I feel like
Already
Theo and Anna are
disciplining my
very
mom.
just like, are just very like soul to soul kind of friendship. So yeah, so Theo's open. If you want to pry away, you're good.
So Frasier, huh?
Yes, I mean you've heard enough about Frasier, I'm sure.
Well, yes,
As it
but
goes.
honestly, the stories about him can go on for days, months, years, but it seems that maybe he's adding a little bit of another character to his story, perhaps. Maybe you've gone from sister cousin to interest?
Me?
He's sending you a letter, my dear, with
He
a
sent
gift
me.
of some sort?
He sent me wine.
I know it's not-
Anna.
no-
Everyone knows that I drink. That's not a particular.
But does anyone send you that wine that you love?
I didn't actually look at it. I don't know if he sent me the wine that I love. Besides, he's going and seeing Clara Whitmore. So I
Well, word on the who isn't seeing Clara?
Oh my god! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Cat! You're on every campaign we do moving forward. You are a disaster. Oh my god. Woo! So Theo is a bit more disaffected than me, and that just kind of breezes over them. Do you ever feel that I've been here forever, Anna, and you've been here forever, and we've just been as we are, and we've just done what we like to do, and people have just sort of come and they've gone. You know, there's been a million new arrivals. There's been, I can't tell you how many random young women I've met at parties who tell me that they're new in the season and then I never see them again. And I thought that perhaps Clara would be the same, and perhaps that Ms. Grimm would be the same, and they're lovely women, they truly are, but I thought that they would just be transient creatures, and I thought that the foundations of the people that Fraser knew and cared about was myself and his family, and I thought that that was it, but it seems that he would like to have a deeper connection with Clara, who is lovely. I suppose I didn't anticipate it, and I suppose that I didn't see people for who they were.
Are you perhaps a tiny bit jealous, my friend? He has been there the entirety of your life, so it would make sense, but are you perhaps unnerved or maybe feel threatened by these newcomers?
I think it's causing me to question things that I thought were solid and true about him, and therefore I question the things that I thought are solid and true about myself, because he'll say things to me and he'll say that's how I am, and I'm not sure if that's right, and I thought I used to like it, having a reputation and having things about myself that everybody thought were true, because that meant that I existed in people's minds, you know, that even if people will think of me even when I'm not around, but it hurts for some reason when they're thinking of me inaccurately or speaking to me inaccurately, and I don't know why anymore, because everybody seems to have a grip of who Clara is and have a grip of who Vanessa are, and I'm thinking perhaps there is more to society than reputations.
Well, Theo, my dear, I would say that we humans are like plants. We might start off one way and maybe people get to know us that way. But every plant grows and changes and shapes differently. And I mean, some of the plants kind of just decorate our backgrounds, but some of them start to bloom and get known for other things. And maybe you're just in your growing process. And though you might not be remembered currently as the person you think you are right now, due to your growth. They just have a new plant to get to know.
I cannot help but think...
You get to grow into whoever you are.
I cannot help but think that plants are chosen for the look of them and planted by others. No plant grows on its own but a weed.
Well, some weeds are beautiful. If you go out in nature, if you go out into a forest, no one specifically planted them there, but they will grow and they will make their presence known, and they grow alongside other plants, and maybe you just bloom a little brighter and you'll catch someone's eye, or maybe you'll grow off on your own, and all you need is a little push, maybe a little sunshine to light you up and help show who you really are.
Thank you, Anna. I find perhaps my heart is suited to being some cave moss of some sort, just left in the dark to fester on its own, but lush nonetheless. For I do like just being in my room and reading.
Hey, moss is beautiful too. And she kind of takes her drink and kind of clinks it towards you.
Thank you, Anna. I'm sorry. It's nothing.
Never apologize, men.
Men, indeed. Although, have you heard about the women these days? And then they start just tittering about like Caroline and Anastasia.
Yeah, she's like, oh, some might have caught the eye. And she starts walking in with you.
Perhaps I send them Sappho, not signed, just a simple unmarked letter with the poems.
As this is happening, next to St. Mary's Church, in the house of Mr. Jacob Jacobs, Clara, you are alone in the drawing room, and there is a on the door.
I go to the door to open it up.
Outside is Lord Fraser Rivers, as he just... Miss Rickmore, I received your letter.
Good afternoon. Thank you for visiting me. Would you like to go on a walk, or you can come in, or...
Well, the river is 15-minute walk away. We could stroll, and then River Haber is quite lovely.
That sounds delightful. Lead the way.
All right. And so you walk through Habershire town until eventually you come to the River Haber, and its waters glisten with the sunlight from above. And as you're walking through, a few individuals whisper, and you hear the name Arthur Matthewson once or twice. And as this happens, Lord Fraser just turns and, I know what it is like to have stories told about you, so I would pay them little heed.
Well, it is potentially slightly different for your position than mine.
Mm.
They're not true.
I mean, not many things, but I am a fairly decent judge of character, even with only one glass of wine in me, and you don't seem the type.
Well, I'm not sure about that. After you made your exit, Arthur and I were talking, and I didn't quite know whether I wanted to throw wine over him too, or try and make him love me in some way.
He's already moved on. I say, unfortunately, that is the end of that particular avenue. It's no use pursuing something that can only bring you pain.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of which, I was warned to stay away from you, actually, and that you would bring nothing but trouble.
That is true. Extraordinarily true.
And why is that? Why will you bring me trouble?
Because I have had responsibility foisted on me, and I have no interest in accepting it. And so I do everything in my power to rail against it, which usually means, and I'm very self-aware about this, but I am usually fairly self-destructive, as I'm sure both Annette and Theodosia can attest to.
It was your sister who warned me, yes. Self-destructive in alcohol or money or both, or women, or...
I mean, attempts at all three. Truth is, I'm profoundly unhappy, Clara, and I do everything in my power to try and ignore that fact.
So you distract yourself?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you think there's something that would make you happy?
There was, but I think that time passed long ago.
Was it money or women?
I would rather not discuss it, if that is all right.
It is understandable.
Don't play the Monologue Tokens. Don't play the Monologue Tokens.
I was just gonna. Can I do a
Can we
monologue
do that?
token?
You can, absolutely.
I want to play my monologue token for Frasier then.
Okay. Okay.
The drama, the tension. This scene is so well role played, by the way, Hannah and Ed. You're killing it. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. You said that, and then just all of our faces went.
Yeah, we were like,
Okay. I was almost married once. My sister does not know this. Her name was Victoria. We met in Pembrokeshire. We were young. I was rich. And she was not. But we were in love. But such a thing was not allowed. In the eyes of my father, it was not practical. And so we parted ways. I believe she is married now, and happily. And ever since, all I have had is my acts of petty revenge for a life I could have had. And an inheritance that I do not want. So that is his inner monologue.
Damn, okay. Oh, Frasier! No!
Oh, I'm supposed to hate him.
Oh no, baby. Okay, jeez. Well, that is understandable. I can't say that reliving all of my past several times about Arthur has been fun.
But your solution is to marry. Why is that?
I don't know how I come across to you, Frasier, in the short time we have known one another.
clumsy, primarily.
I would rather you forget that piece of information. My mother and father love each other very, very much. And they loved each other before they were married. And I am sure they will love one another until the grave. I wanted that. And it was not meant to be. So now I feel, well, does your father not put responsibility on you to marry and carry on the family and its success and everything?
I think my father is only concerned that he has an heir to inherit everything. And I do not deserve it. I do not want it.
You don't want your inheritance.
I know I was happiest when those things were far from my mind. But my sister cannot have the inheritance. And yet she is willing to, or unwilling to accept that. So, somewhat of a conundrum we both find ourselves in.
Am I able to play a monologue token on Clara?
Sure. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So Clara is very interested by his approach because for her, she is definitely not from a well-off, she's from a reasonably well-off family that she is in society, but she is in no way comparable to Frasier's status. And the idea that she was left because of money, even though, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. So she wanted to marry for love, like her parents did. And then she was left for money. So for her, in a way, the two seem very intrinsically linked. Like her future marriages could protect her and her family and elevate them or do well for all of them. But at the same time, there is the knowledge that her parents would want love and she would ideally want love, but she doesn't know if that's actually practical. And if she was to fall in love, what if it hurt in the same way that it did with Arthur? Yeah. She's having a fun time.
As the two are walking along the river, Annette, you're wanting to visit Marion. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you make your excuses and you head back across Habershire, and you arrive at Marion's house.
So I just kind of knock on the door.
Yeah, you knock on the door, yeah.
No answer.
No one answers. No.
Knock again. This time a little bit.
You hear shuffling around in the foyer.
Marion, I can hear you.
Kenna, somebody is at the door. Could you please answer it? Says a voice from right by the door, basically. And then you hear the servants like footsteps as they like run from like another room to get the door, and they open it and Marion's like standing right behind them basically. And then the servant walks away. Good day. Oh, Lady Rivers. Yes.
Yes.
Good day, Lady Rivers.
Good day to you. And then she kind of waits to be offered to come inside. After a couple minutes, she just walks in.
Minutes. Marianne's like reading the paper. Oh, Lady Rivers, and what occasion do I have to have you coming into my home?
I just wanted to discuss the interaction you had with my brother at Theo's recent party.
I spoke to many boring men that night. I will need you to clarify.
Well, you were being rather loud about my brother murdering somebody.
Oh, well, I think we both know the truth of that, don't we, Lady Rivers?
We do. And I wanted to discuss about that. And I have a question, Ed. For my reputation thing, can I actually use the Master of Gossip? Like, is that a thing I could do?
Oh, you gotta earn that, unfortunately.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you have to earn that, unfortunately, yeah.
Shoot. Okay. All right.
Marion's an idiot, though. You don't need to be playing with that. You're fine. You came to the right lady.
Yes. So we do know the truth. And I just kind of wanted to talk to you about that and verify. And I wanted to thank you for letting everyone in Havershire know the truth about my brother.
Indeed, I'm sure assuring others that he was the one who committed the murder is exactly what you had wanted.
What do you mean?
Well, Lady Rivers, it had not been brought to my attention at the time, but I have been informed now by trusted sources, and her hand kind of tightens on like the scandal sheet that she's holding, that it was yourself who committed the murder. And instead, the public knowledge is that Fraser did it. So everybody thinks that Fraser did it when in fact it was yourself. I can only hope it was a crime of passion, madam, although looking upon you, I can't imagine you capable of such.
I would never do such a thing. And then like Annette's kind of like trying to see like who told you this information, because it's incorrect. As you saw my brother and heard about what he does, why would I do such a thing? When
it is considered gossip, and it is acknowledged, is a truth universally acknowledged, that around the more gossipy circles of Habershire, it is rumored that your brother committed a murder and the family is covering it up. However, a much more verifiable fact is that this gossip only exists to facilitate covering up the murder that you committed, for he is in fact taking the blame for what happened. And I think that quite selfless of him, although stupid. However, the two words mean much the same.
Did you see that one day when because I know that you're constantly looking at everything. Did you see that one day where he actually tripped in the street because he was so drunk? I've never been capable of embarrassing myself in the way that he does. And you think I'm capable of a murder? I just want to let you know.
All men's embarrassments blur together for me, Lady Rivers.
I'm going to spend a resolve token, if it's okay with you, Harley.
Chat, why did you give him one? Yeah, what's up? Go for it.
To make Marion start to see a grain of truth in what Lady Annette is saying.
So true, bestie. Yes. So Marion's saying that, but you can tell that she's saying that as like a quick deflection, but like you can actually see in her eyes like the things that you're saying are processing.
Yeah, so if you have any questions about it, I wanted to show you something that I brought along. And then Annette kind of pulls something out of her, kind of like her little purse handbag thing, and it's this paper. And then she hands it to Marion. And basically what it says on it is Annette actually forged a letter from the family of the man that was murdered. And basically,
We're making a fake family.
And basically, it just says that they did see Fraser commit the murder, and yes, Annette did all of this to end this entire man's career. So,
okay, I'm gonna play another resolve token. I'm going to use the so there are resolve tokens connected to every rumor that has been spread.
oh, okay.
At this point, I'm going to use the one Miss Clara Rickmore is having an affair with Mr. Arthur Mathewson, as you hear a very frantic knock on your door, Marion.
Marion snatches the paper out of your hand and like looking at you, like tucks it into her like just objectionably pink little waist, little handbag thing that she's got attached to her huge bustle. And then she just swishes past you and opens the door.
Outside is stood Mrs. Caroline Mathewson, and she is holding in her hand the Habershire harp, and she just looks at you and says, I believe we need to talk. And that is where the novel chapter is going to end.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
We are now moving on to the reputation phase. Let me just plug in my laptop real quick because otherwise it's going to die. But
Okay.
everyone think about how they behave this chapter.
Yeah, let's think about our behavior, everybody.
I just dwell on the behavior, the things that we have done. My heart is beating. Like, what? Hello.
I was literally like, is it Arthur or Caroline? Is it Arthur or Caroline? Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So,
So good.
we've got like a period Legion of Doom forming.
Yes.
I'm so
Brilliant.
here for it. Lovely.
Can we please like have time for an epistolary section this session? Because I'm like,
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah.
okay, cool. Okay.
Lovely. So, first up, if we go with Kat, is there anything that you feel Ness did for or against her family reputation, her family background?
I believe that I don't know. I think that maybe her denying more of where she's come from, and then like I don't know if she's done anything like super aggressively against the family background, other than like she keeps kind of just letting it away.
Okay. I mean, you are so close to having reputation condition. If we want to,
I really want to. I want to squeak it through.
I feel like next novel scene you should just like have like the goal, and that's like your goal.
Yeah,
For the novel
I
scene.
know.
Yeah.
I remembered the desires for 2 seconds, and then I was like, well, there's also 8 other things. I guess she kind of like compromised what she wants, because she's just kind of hanging out playing with artist and someone she knows who isn't wealthy, and just kind of like not necessarily any person of note in the town, which should kind of be negative considering her backstory and her responsibilities that she's supposed to fulfill.
Okay. So, if you want to make a tag based on that, how would that be, do you think?
Maybe it's strange that she's doing these things.
Yeah? Or maybe like, yeah, no, strange works. Yeah, strange. Although you've already got a strange reputation.
Oh, I do have a strange.
Maybe
I'm super strange.
maybe secretive. Maybe.
Ooh, yeah. Since we can add words, yeah.
Yeah.
You can also do aloof if you wanted.
Mm.
I don't know
So
if she's necessary. I guess she's playing aloof with a lot. We'll go with secretive this time.
okay. So you activate a negative reputation condition. So either great offense, so your actions are offensive to someone of local importance and they mean to make it known publicly, or fracture, someone close to you is appalled by your behavior and refuses to talk to you.
Uh-oh. I don't want to ruin my relationships, but Anastasia might be mad with how Daniel and Ness kind of like were together, especially with her bringing her in and like having the rumor that she's like very much like into Ness. There might be a little bit of a fracture there, even though she's like painting them and doing all this stuff, that she sees their like connection or whatever might be there.
Okay.
So perhaps upset with that.
Okay. So, fracture. Okay, so, Laurie, do you think, and you can go either way, because either way you will have a positive or a negative condition, but do you feel you behaved positively or negatively at all?
I definitely think it was probably negative.
Okay.
With the forgery. So I'm probably gonna pick mean-spirited. I mean, that was pretty mean.
Okay. So which of the reputation conditions do you want to choose? There's mind your own business, which is others distrust you and refuse to participate in your schemes and plans, or fracture, someone close to you is appalled by your behavior.
I don't want the first one. I'm trying to do a thing. So I'm probably gonna have to pick fracture.
Okay.
I would almost, I don't know if Clara would do this because she's so sweet, but I almost feel like she might be done with me because of the way that her and Fraser are connecting, and now she knows how he really is. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I'll happily go along with whatever.
Okay, so a fracture between Annette and Harley. Harley, how about Theodosia?
Yeah, I think that Theodosia is like made a sacrifice or denied your desires to uphold the superiority of your rank, in that they agreed to help Annette sort of like knock Fraser down a peg so that like the superiority of peerage can be maintained and not naughty old Fraser's ruining the good family name kind of thing, which Theodosia like doesn't actually like truly want to happen. It's just that they're like, okay, rank. So I would say positive tag, which means that I get a positive reputation condition as well. Yeah. But I think I did that. And I am not sure about what positive tag to give them, because the ones that I have remaining are influential, austere, or famous, and I don't know if any of them fit them. If anyone has any good like positive character traits about Theo, I know it's hard, but you know, if you have any in mind.
I mean, I feel if it's more about like maybe reflective, maybe like we saw a more reflective side of.
Oh yeah,
Theo.
true. Yeah, I like that. Like self-aware kind of reflective vibes. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put like
you would work maybe. I don't know, but
pardon?
Yeah. Or I said like genuine might work.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, either one.
I'm gonna go with like self-reflective, I think, in like a healthy way. So as a positive. So do I get either high society or acts of daring?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I would like to pick. Ooh. Damn it, both are good actually. So I can either do high society, which is your parties are notorious and start attracting very wealthy individuals, or acts of daring. When you urge an intoxicated connection to do something reckless, embarrassing, or unusual, they will either do so or reveal to you the truth of why they won't.
Ooh, both of those are really good actually.
They're fun.
Oh, they're both so good. I'm gonna say, okay, since this is a collaborative effort, do we want more Theo parties as a thing or no? Because if we don't, which is totally fine, holy shit. If we don't, then I wouldn't go with high society if we're not gonna like spend much time at Theo parties.
If I were you, I would go for the drunk one, but that's just
You don't know what Theo's goals are.
No, I don't.
All right.
Well, no, okay, that's true. But I think it's more interesting. Well, because I don't know how many. We only have 2 episodes left. I don't know how many actual parties we're gonna have. Whereas,
Exactly, yeah.
we'll probably be drunk a lot.
Yeah, very true. I'm gonna go with acts of daring then. I'm just gonna get everyone drunk.
Okay. Leaving yourself, Hannah.
Hello.
Will you behave positively or negatively?
I don't really know. Because I don't think I acted in convention in. Wait. Part of me is like. I denied my own desires. Oh my god. I've had like 3 people to think about this and I'm coming up with nothing. So I gain a positive tag if I acted in the service of duty or morality in a way that compromised my desires, or if I sacrificed or denied my own desires to please someone of a higher rank. Or I gain a negative tag if I acted on desire in a way that compromised my duty or morality. Or if I acted in contravention of society's conventions. And I think I did kind of both. So I don't know.
I mean, mainly because it would be fun to do another reputation condition. Do we want to say you did a positive thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Acted in the way of service to in the way that compromise your desires. Yeah, I think like I don't know, I can't think of like a specific instance, but I think overall like Clara has learned that she can't have it exactly how she wants it, and she needs to find a different way to get her desires, whatever they may be. I don't know, that's a secret, but yeah.
Adaptive, maybe? Or inquisitive?
Ooh.
Or...
I quite like inquisitive because I was leaning towards curious. So inquisitive I like.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Which means you can either activate in closest confidence or social capital.
Choose one connection. Until this boon is erased, this connection is devoted to you and believes you can do no wrong. Or when you offer connections, relationship advice in confidence that appears reasonable, they will follow it. Is connections just the 2 people I have, or is that everyone?
It's the 2 people that you have, I believe.
Oh, can I? And then mine sucks. Then hang on, wait a minute.
I mean, to be honest, I'm happy considering how much the connections are crossing over.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it to be any connection.
I was gonna say I don't think I can give relationship advice to my dad or the vicar. So.
You and God have got a good thing going. You should have that, Jacob.
Okay, if we're doing it that way, then I'll go with social capital.
Okay. Which takes us on to the epistolary phase. So you can each write up to 2 letters, either as your character or as one of your connections, or you can spend a resolve token to have one sent to you. So, Laurie, are there any letters that you would like to send?
I'm going to send a letter to Clara from her father.
Okay.
My dearest daughter, I know that things have been a little bit rough lately, and I have heard that you have been spending time with Lord Fraser Rivers. I've heard some things about him, and I know that I trust you, and I know that you'll make the best decision, but I am wary of hanging out, spending time with somebody with the reputation that he has. Please take care of yourself. Always thinking of you. Love, your father.
Thanks, Pops.
Any other letters you want to send, Laurie?
I think that's it for right now.
Okay. Kat?
I think that Ness would probably write a letter to Daniel and say, it was a pleasure having you over, and I very much enjoyed the first few stories of the book you brought over. It was so nice to see you and Anastasia getting along. Basically she wants to like invite him over to the house again and spend more time together.
Okay. And do you have a second letter that you would like to write as anyone?
Don't forget you can spend resolve tokens to have a letter written to you. And I think we're almost at the end of the cycle. So if you have one you want to use up.
I know, I'm trying to see. And I have to say what is in that letter, or I can just...
You can either hand that over to myself or to whoever is writing the letter, or you can dictate the contents.
Well, I just caused a fracture, so maybe someone doesn't want to talk face to face, and I'll spend a resolve token for Anastasia to write a letter to Ness.
Oh. I think Anastasia would be kind of a little petty about it and just be like, dearest Vanessa, what you know, dear Vanessa, not dearest, dear Vanessa, I'm thinking of spending some time locked away in my art studio so that I can refocus my energies and overcome somewhat of a mental block I am having. If you could make sure that some sort of food is left outside my door, don't feel the need to come in and disturb me. Or I may go out and ride spirits for a weekend getaway. Wishes. Not best wishes, just wishes. Anastasia. Regards. Coldest regards to you.
And this is slid under your door, Vanessa. Yeah. Any letters that you would like to write as any of the characters that you have played?
Do I have to write a letter to a connection / character, or could she write could they write a letter to their dead mom? Their dead mom's never going to read.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it doesn't just have to be a letter. It can also be like in a monologue or whatever.
Okay, I'd like it as a diary entry then, I guess. Mm-hmm. So Theo's going to write in their diary. And I've actually written this down, so effort. They're going to write, I am 23. Lord Byron wrote, the heart will break, but broken live on. Despite the tendency to blush from other past me, I do not feel I have a hot beating heart within me. I feel the most in common with mother's urn upon the mantle. Bearable enough to look upon, cherished certainly, but not brought out for show. Within, naught but ashes. Since mother's passing, I spent the time doing as I'm told and drinking so that I can bear it. Yet each instruction pulls me in different directions. Care for the Rivers family, father says. Yet Fraser and Annette are at odds. I cannot care for them both. Drink so that your desires go away, floating like will-o-wisps. Yet when drunk, I seem to stumble into want after want. Would it fulfill me to be the ideal Earl of Egerton? This earldom is a relic. We are moving towards a new world, and I do not want to be a near eroded caryatid crumbling beneath its weight. I want my own life, but that would mean being myself, free of society's confines. And I do not know if I can bear knowing that soul. It is clear that nobody else wishes to. And that is all that I know. Not what I want, only what repulses me, what brings me fear, and what love is kindled at my parties. And then that's they just like rip that out of their notebook and just like stuff it into their desk drawer with many other diary entries.
Okay. And are you wanting to write anything else, or is that?
Trying to think. I don't play that many connections or anything. I just play Marion, but Marion's busy, so no, I'm good.
Okay. And finally, Hannah, do you want to write any additional letters?
Yeah, I'd like to write to Annette, being like, dearest Annette, I wanted to come to you in the interest of honesty that I have, despite your warning, spent some time with your brother. I'm not quite sure why you gave me the warning in such a harsh manner when really he seems like a genuine person. I don't necessarily want this to impede any judgment I have. And I don't want it to impede on your thoughts about me. I look forward to seeing you again. My regards, Clara.
Okay.
Oh.
And anything else at all?
Oh, and I'd like to spend a resolve token that chat gave me to get a letter from Frasier. Thank you.
So
The poor boy.
you
Already yours, though.
I think it's just I call all fictional characters my babies, and then I'm like, oh, Frasier, come, you're adopted now too. Come on.
So through the post, much to the displeasure of Mr. Jacob Jacobs, who receives the letter and just walks through and rather curtly hands it to you first to Matthewson and now to Rivers. He comes in and you hear him mutter something as he's walking out. But as you open the letter, it says, my dear Miss Rickmore, to walk with you was a pleasure, to talk even more. It is the most fun I have had while sober in a very, very long time. I hope the bind you find yourself in unknots itself in time. Life is too short, and too precious to live in hesitancy. I wish you certainty. Best wishes, Lord Fraser Rivers. And that ends the epistolary session, which brings us onto our final phase of the night, which is upkeep. So if anyone has any remaining monologue tokens, which I think is just Cat, you can play them on anyone that you wish to.
Oh, I spent mine. I just forgot to unclick it.
Oh, okay, never mind. So this is the first time that we can progress inner conflicts. So last session, you all decided upon your inner conflicts, which were just two abstract ideas that were placed against one another. So now we get to see if any of those have been progressed at all. So if we start with, in order that I have them on the sheet, Clara. So love versus wealth. So, and this is the same for all the players, for everyone watching. So either you took action in pursuit of one or the other, you sacrificed something important to you for one or the other, you hurt or pushed away someone important to you for this, you degraded your reputation or went against your conscience for this, or your actions in pursuit of this destroyed your chance of successfully pursuing the other. So, Clara, you can tick any of those that apply, either for love or for wealth.
I think I'm gonna tick the you took action in pursuit of this on the wealth side.
Okay. And anything else at all, or just that for now?
I don't know if
She doesn't want Fraser, the drama.
We've talked twice, but yeah, no, I don't. I don't know if I hurt or pushed away Arthur. I guess I kind of did, like, because he was like, we can just be pals, and I was like, no. But I guess I could do that. But I don't think that was
In pursuit of
love or wealth. That was just emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
No, that's fine. We can leave it at that for now. For Theodosia, desire versus duty.
I might go with. I think I want to go with you degrade your reputation or went against your conscience for this for duty, because of the agreeing to help Annette like screw over Fraser basically, and that was against Theo's conscience.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's like a duty thing rather than desire, because desire would be like helping Fraser. So I'm gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Vanessa, love versus family.
I would say that I might have started to take action in pursuit of it with like having Daniel there and doing everything with him. It's kind of like a start of something, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Either that or the you hurt or pushed away someone important for you for love.
I mean, you can tick as many as you like. You don't necessarily have to just choose one.
Okay, then I think I might tick both of those on the left side.
Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah.
And finally, Annette, wealth versus duty.
I almost feel like she did all of them like for wealth except for the sacrifice. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tick as many of them as you like.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, which means that you are one box tick away from having resolved your inner conflict.
What happens when it's resolved?
We will get to that. Potentially next. But that is the end of this particular session and the end of today's chapters, and we're going to pick up on all of that same time next week. Yeah. But yeah, over to you, Hannah.
Gee, what an episode. My goodness. Spicy. Yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. First of all, if you would like to keep up with the future campaigns, such as Fifth House Season 2 coming back soon, please feel free to find us on the Patreon, where you get all the bonus goodies. And we also have Twitter, of course, and Discord. Thank you all so much for all of the sub support today and just all the loveliness that you bring to this chat. I love us reacting and then looking over to chat and just seeing chat just like equally as shocked as we are. It's great. We'll do one last shouting ourselves out and then we will sign off. So I am Hannah, or Louise Hannah, literally everywhere. Currently playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney for the first time. I'm in love with it. It's the silliest and goofiest and such a good game, and it's so and I'm in love with the prosecution, but that's fine. And I'm gonna be streaming that on Friday if you want to come join. And then I'm Louise Hannah everywhere else. Kat.
I'm Cat Scratch. You can call me Cat. I am Cat on Cat Scratch on literally everything. Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all the likes. And I am currently playing through Resident Evil Village on my channel. I'm a big baby, but it's going well. It's going well. I really like the puzzles though, so that's cool. Yeah, I guess that's the short me.
Awesome. Lori.
Yes, hello. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Lori, and I'm Legend of Lori everywhere else. All I play on my channel is Genshin Impact. I am clearly obsessed with the game, and we're exploring Inazuma and working on building Yoimiya, who is super cute. We love her. And yeah, it's me.
Awesome. Ed.
I am Ed. I'm at Edward_Spence_ on Twitter. I am currently DMing not just for this, but also for Cantrip Breakers, which is every Thursday at 9 p.m. BST. I'm also hard at work planning for the Fifth House Season 2. And as Harley mentioned earlier, another thing in October, but we'll get to that. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, tune in on Twitch on Thursdays, and yeah, that's me. Thanks everyone for another amazingly eventful session.
So good.
And last but certainly not least, Harley.
Hello, it's me, Holly. I'm Browitchery absolutely everywhere. Twitter, Fan House, Twitch, Instagram, and I'm not streaming for the rest of the week, except for obviously appearing on here on Wednesday and stuff, because I'm just soaking in the sights of Canada that I'm visiting right now. So if you want to keep up with that, I'm posting a lot on my Fan House and my Twitter about it. It's a really good time. I also produce a lot of stuff on Stories Told, including Fifth House, which is coming up very soon. But if you go to our YouTube, all the episodes are on there. The first episode currently has 1,000 views because we did an interview recently about Stories Told, and they linked to the first episode of Fifth House. And so if you want to hop in to season 2, there's only like 7-8 episodes. That's easy. Come on now. We've all caught up on some Critical Role. You can do like 8 episodes. You're fine. But yeah, that's me. And I had a really good time today. Thank you all so much for hanging out. We love this system. It's so fun. And so yeah, we also have a Discord if you want to stream about the episode in there. I know I certainly will be. So yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thanks so much, Hannah, for all the production work that you put in and everything.
Yes, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I think that's all from us. So we will see you same time, same place next week for. It really feels like there is like a perfect storm brewing, and that it's just like it's like about to like all go down, and I'm so freaking excited.
We thought there was drama this week. Like, get ready.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for hanging out. Oh,
So scared of Lori.
I keep forgetting Laurie is the meddler. I keep forgetting.
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah.
I feel like we saw. Yeah. Oh my god.
That like is it's terrible.
It's so good though. It's so good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So thank you all so much. We'll see you next Wednesday for more. Have a wonderful rest of your weeks, friends. Bye. Bye.